I'm a
Emo,
human.
don't you
I'm a
put one
human
fin on
bard.
that boat.
Aurora.
Not pirate,
You gotta
navigator.
help us.
Nah, navigator, not a pirate. I am a honorable man who doesn't break the law with people watching.
Can I have your resume?
No,
And
you can't have my resume. I lied on everything. That's evidence A through Z right there, buddy. Do you know who this man is? Nope. Every bit of that's a lie. I don't know who that person on that piece of paper is.
Is that a camera? Yeah, sorry. No, I know nothing. I saw nothing. Actually, I'm blind.
Who are
And
you
deaf.
people?
There we go.
I'm blind in one eye and like mostly deaf in the other.
You know, same. Yeah, it happened to me once, you know? Like,
Is anybody else joining TaleSpire?
no, I will when I get my laptop to run better.
Okay.
But
I was
not
waiting for Steam to update.
anytime.
Oh, hey.
Mikey usually shares his screen. Can I have a screen share, please? Can I get some of that sweet screen share? Can I get some of that sweet screen share?
I think it's only going to be Breya and Crusix, so it's a matter of if they can or not.
It's a bit of their screen.
There's an update for TaleSpire.
It's a bug fix.
I'm back. Oh my goodness.
Welcome
It's the
back.
bug
Welcome
that
back.
loads the DM's
I was
dice.
wondering why I felt so tall.
He will be missed. Mitchell, you still there?
Nope.
No.
Oh, okay.
At least he's honest.
Fair.
Well,
Mitchell also has wireless headphones, so he is both there and not there.
True.
That's true.
I mean, that summarizes Mitchell in his entirety.
Mitchell is the modern day Schrodinger's cat.
I believe that.
Accurate. Oh, I got a camera.
Well, depending on how this goes, I'm gonna have to make Yuelia like immediately retreat.
Wait, but she promised me heals. Yay! See?
Yep.
Heals! Heal me.
Is that what he said?
Yes.
It's in chat there.
Oh,
It's in
he
the
did.
chat,
He
it
wrote
is
on his camera.
confirmed.
Okay. Okay. We'll keep her on the battlefield.
Give me some of the sweet heals. She can retreat after she heals me, and possibly Golvier, because I healed him and he immediately got hit again.
But Aurora,
Yes.
the undead have started to pour out of the tower in the middle of the fort.
Well,
Why does this feel like the tower
Oh,
of
yeah.
the fall with the dark spawn?
They're punching you.
have they
Oh,
tried
So
not?
rude.
Say what?
Have they tried not coming into the fort?
But they want into the fort. It's like a.
That's a valid question. Has anyone asked these
That's
people
the people not
to
to
come
do
in?
that.
You
So
don't have
before-
consent.
Before anything else, what does Aurora want to do?
Immediately start fighting, of course.
Oh yeah,
So
things
I'm
to
assuming-
punch.
Aurora wants
you
to break the leg
attacking-
off one of them and beat the rest with the other's leg.
Are you attacking them as they come out of the tower, or are you trying to force your way in to see where they're coming from?
Attacking them as they come out of the tower.
Okay.
It's just Aurora's just patting her KD.
Can
So-
can
Takes so
someone
long to
screen
join.
share Breya or some DM someone screen share TaleSpire?
Thank you.
Thank you, Crusix.
I got you.
I don't know what I'm looking at, but thank you.
The campaign board. He hasn't been invited.
I'm
to
in
actual
the
map
back
yet.
rooms of Josh's world right
Oh
now.
no,
It's a
not the
big
back
place,
room.
Right.
And there's no seats.
Can I invite Crusix now?
Yes.
Summon Clara.
Hi, Jenny. We love you.
Josh, there is no seating in the back rooms at all. No vending machines.
There's
Nothing.
nothing. Dude, the back rooms are empty as
And the
shit.
floor was oddly sticky.
Oh.
It could be candy. Let's pretend it's candy.
For the sake of my sanity, we're going to say it's candy and not talk about this ever again.
No, it's soda pop.
It could be
Something like-
soda. It could be
It's still the
Kool-Aid.
soda in the back rooms, you guys. I'm sorry. There's just... Yeah, that's my bad. I'm sorry.
But to start it off, Aurora, I need your morale check versus the undead's morale check.
All right, how many morales do I have?
So you might want to
You
write
have-
this down because I did. So I didn't have to ask every single time.
Of max.
You
she does
has-
not have max.
3 morales versus its 2 morales.
3 morales. And those are D10s, right? Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm debating on dropping it down to a D4. So
No.
there's less swing.
No.
You want D10s?
I like what I have.
Yeah, you're OP.
Well,
No,
The only-
how many
only thing that
morale you
changed
can
would
get
be-
won't change. Just the dice that you
What-
use for it.
I don't know. I want to be able to roll lots of dice. That's my thing.
Well, like I said, the amount of dice won't change. Just how big the dice are will change.
Josh, can you
Yeah,
just
But
confirm
wouldn't
Um,
it change to a max of 4?
Correct.
or
I
per
don't like
dice?
that. I want 10.
That's too
Okay.
bad. You maxed out like second round, so that's no good. That's too cray.
But for this battle, your thing is okay. But somebody was asking a question. Sorry.
Can you just confirm what my morale's at right now?
It should be at like 8. Yeah,
I have
Is that Elias or is that Shrike?
that is giant turtle.
All right.
Oh yeah, Shrike's a giant turtle.
Shrike is at, or Elias is at 5.
He came back from the spirit world as a giant turtle for some reason. We're just going with it. Maybe that's how he
You know
always
What?
felt.
The giant
He
turtle's
always
on our
felt.
side and not the enemy side, so I ain't asking questions.
He always felt like a giant
Um,
turtle on the inside. And now he is one on the outside too.
Out of character, Josh, really quick.
Okay.
That's not actually fully Shrike, correct? Based on what you told me before? Great. Okay, cool. Anyway.
Gingy,
Hi,
Gingy,
guys.
Gingy.
We're good.
So we'll start the battle off with the contest between the undead in the town versus Aurora.
Rova, Rova,
I got a
Rova.
19.
Well, you definitely beat my 6, so go ahead and roll a d4 for damage.
3.
Nice.
Nice. We were getting a lot of
Alright.
ones, so that's good.
Gonna roll some event dice for the.
I need to find a new background. I don't like this background. It's too bright. According to some information that's being passed around by the people inside the fort, like Alessandra and the clerics, the sun should be starting to rise very shortly. Oh, thank goodness.
If you guys can just hold out.
Can I like yell that among my ranks to try to give them like inspiration to fight? Not
Oh, yeah.
actual bardic inspiration, but like scenically to be like, just a little longer.
Well, the thing is the majority of all your troops are undead. They're
Yeah.
ghosts.
True.
But if you want to yell that, yeah, sure, that's perfectly fine.
I would like to yell that, especially for the humans that happen to be among my ranks.
Same.
There we go. But I can't remember. Did we leave off on your guys' turn or on the enemy's turn?
We went all the way around to the top. What is happening?
I was gonna say I thought it was supposed to be my turn.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Hang
sure.
on, I lost my screen again.
I am
Turtle
pretty sure
shite,
that we
turtle
made it
shite.
back to the top.
We always go back
Say
to
that
the
again?
top.
Turtle does he swing from a web? No, he don't. He's a turtle.
Come on, computer.
And for the record, I did kind of blatantly plagiarize Simpsons movie for that.
How dare you?
Look out! Here comes Dorval playing the flute on top of that turtle.
Well, I'll always be going clockwise for your turns and the undead's turns, but I just can't remember where I left off, unfortunately.
Roll a d6, odds and evens.
Fair enough. Might as well just do a d4.
In principle.
Odds, you guys. Right,
Never tell me the odds.
If you want it to be evens, it goes back to their turn.
we will start with Golvier, who is getting smashed.
Dude, I just healed
Oh,
you. Knock it
Do I
off.
watch?
Nope, didn't mean to roll that.
Okay.
Alright, let me get a set of 3 going.
So it turns out this cable is really finicky, and I need to not touch anything.
I was muted this entire time.
You do
Again?
it all, I say you do it all the time.
Look,
do
okay,
that
guys,
a
I have
lot.
bad vision. I have really bad peripherals, and when I mute my headset, the big bright red light for some reason is right in that one blind spot of my peripheral because of my fat cheek, so I don't see that it's on.
That's
Mirror,
fair.
you're up.
Oh,
What
hi!
all attacks has this turtle done?
It ate some undead, and it magnified a giant undead. Is that what you were asking?
Yeah, like what all has that turtle done? Like he's attacked.
It's
he's
attacked the
blasted out
super
the-
giant
He's
undead,
our
and it
friend.
ate a whole bunch of the small ones.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Now just making sure that I was all caught up in my head where
Ye-
what the turtle did.
Yeet. Mirra would like to, because Yuelia was gonna come over and heal me. I would like to punch or bonkinate. Hang on. It's not a bonk stick, but she would like to bonkinate the ghost.
Now, just to be clear, if you hit the ghost can retaliate, and if you lose the roll, it could probably end your unit.
Well, shnikes.
Because you only have 3 HP.
I thought I had 2 HP. No, maybe 3.
Well, yeah,
Why
if
does-
you had 2, that would work.
He is
More
not
than I
worse
thought.
than three.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Okay, I will
You can heal your own unit too, by the way.
myself with repeating Breya's words that we just have to hold on a little more. Okay, so that's a 4 and a 2. So my HP was... No, this says I have an HP of 4 out of 10, yeah. Okay, so I had 3 HP?
According to what I've been keeping track of, yes.
Why do I have 4? So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 out of 10. Okay, so if Yuelia could heal Golvier, that'd be great, because I healed him a tiny bit, and then he got hit again. So
You
I
gotta
did
get through
that,
this.
and who...
Actually, Golfier's gonna. I forgot to move him, but Golfier's gonna jump down here.
Crusix, can you move the map to the north side, please?
Oh my goodness.
I apologize.
No, you're okay.
Just let me know if you need my camera angle moved any at all for you.
Is
Zoom.
Mirra gonna move, or are you
Can you
staying where
zoom?
you're at?
I would like to stay where I'm at so I can protect both of them, because they're both in...
Mirra, you're this one right here, yeah?
No, I'm...
Right in the center.
Nope. Wait, yes. Yeah, that's... Ow. Me. I would like to stay there, because I can protect
Okay.
both of them. So that's my turn, please and thank you.
Breya.
Yes.
I was gonna start wearing the wig again, but
Can I
needs
attack the
hair.
skeleton in front of me
Absolutely.
and use all 10 of my dice?
You just have to beat 15.
Well, I rolled a 36.
That's a win, in my opinion.
I think, based on the statistics, that
Based
might
on-
beat it. I'm not
Actually,
a mathematician here.
I'd like to
Uh,
challenge that. Can we get a
No,
calculator, please?
No,
Oh, my
no,
lord.
too many flashes from high school. Stop it.
Like on the play.
Ugh.
And it's 1d4, right?
Correct.
4.
Nice.
That would be the odd they didn't even have.
The skeleton army is starting to get a little worn out over here.
What?
Are you staying where you're at as well?
Yep.
Or Yuelia? Yuelia doesn't
I'm
really want to
trusting
be.
the people on the inside to deal with the inside issue.
Where is he at?
Right there. One that moved.
Where is my Mikey? Why is he not
He
here?
can't make it today, he said.
He's doing stuff and
Ah.
things.
Wait. Pedi.
Pedi.
Pedi's here?
No.
No, where is he?
Pedi
Oh,
couldn't
he
make it.
he declined like 4 days ago.
Ah!
He hasn't said anything as to why, but
He hasn't
I
been
trust that
messaging me back.
He's
That's
like
why-
one of my favorite people.
I know. He hasn't been messaging me back. Though.
make sure. Well, he might be out for the holidays.
That's
Oh,
true.
that's true. I keep forgetting it's like American Thanksgiving time.
Wait, where are you from?
We're from Canada.
I'm from Connecticut,
Oh,
but I
Canadian.
live in Canada.
Canada.
Canadian.
We
You're
had
from-
our Thanksgiving
you,
back
Bubba.
in October on time.
You're from the state of Canada.
No, I'm from Connecticut,
Oh,
but I live in Canada.
gotcha.
Oh, Canada.
Since Pedi is not here, I'm going to have to move on his behalf.
Well, he's Valis anyways. Valis! Valis, remember our thingy about communicating with the giant turtle? Oh wait, Crusix has to do that
Crusix
first.
That's going to be doing that.
Yeah. Okay. The undead are attacking the walls, dude.
Why does all these things have 2 morale? In any case, Alice is 5.
Did my mom cut my spaghetti?
Mamma mia, not my spaghetti.
22 versus.
I keep trying to twirl my spaghetti on my fork and it's not working.
You've mommed your last Mia.
No!
3, 6. Take that! Skeletons attacking the base. Alright, I think we've gotten to Shrike.
Oh boy.
Crusix.
Shrike and Dorval. So you got all that crap behind, if whoever is paying the camera. You have all that crap behind you, and then you have all that crap in front of you.
It's the shrikening.
Oh no!
How many are in front of me right now?
So many?
Or
So
three?
many.
Wow, rude.
Oh no, it's
Did
loading.
someone blast the turtle or did the turtle blast someone else?
No, that's
Somebody
it.
blast the turtle.
We're under attack.
So there's
gonna
this
move.
cloaked figure here, but then you have about
Oh yeah, we said last time, remember that the cloaked figures were weird and sketch, so we needed to deal with those on that side.
All right. Well, Shrike and Dorval don't know that. We don't have communication yet.
That's true.
No, I'm the one who saw the cloak, guys. I
Yeah,
saw them.
right, Dorval saw them.
Oh, great. So we're going to assume Dorval told me.
He
to
did
I
take-
on
did
his
tell you.
turn.
I did tell you.
I'm remembering
Yes.
so many things now.
It actually hit my friend.
Fantastic. I am going for the cloaked man.
How?
There are 2 of them.
Well,
And-
the cloaked individual here.
Oh.
So, between the 100 or so undead here, the probably 500 behind you, you're going after the cloaked figure?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Uh,
I love how he's like, there's 500 over there. Are you going after this single person?
well,
Yes, we
but
are.
remember, they were sketch, and we point. Oh shoot! Too many buttons.
Plus, all those
Dorval told me
good
to take it out.
strategist game players knows. Bring your big powerhouse back close to your base and let him nibble away the masses as they approach.
They are attacking the base currently, so.
The problem is, if we all retreat, they're just gonna all descend on them.
I washed my
But
hair in my bag.
Can the turtle keep them busy long enough while we investigate that tower? Because if our hunch is correct and the source of the undead is coming from that tower,
Well, it's
we could
almost
stop
daylight.
the attack.
It's almost daylight, though. We just have to keep whittling.
Normal
Just
morale
keep
check, Josh.
hanging on.
Well,
I'm a
As you go
motivational
to the-
poster, you guys.
as you go to descend upon them, so this massive turtle just, and everybody can see this mountain moving towards that direction. But I mean, it's obvious that they see you coming. There's no sneak check you could possibly do.
You ever seen the scene from Monty Python and the Holy Grail where they're just standing there watching Sir Lancelot run at them in the
Yes.
distance? Yeah, that's what I imagine. This giant turtle that all of a sudden, boom! Oh, how'd that get there?
That'd be funny.
That's you rolling a nat 20 on a sneak.
But as you get closer to them, they realize that they've been found out,
Ah, hell.
or at least it appears that way, and you just see them just pull into like a black blob on the floor and just disappear.
Oh, come on.
No.
Okay.
Does the black
Hey,
lava,
sluts, come back.
does the thing on the floor stay there or go away? Is there still like a...
I just well, from what Shrike's corner form can see, they just disappear.
Is the hole still there?
No, sir.
Do you have any more movement to get anyone else?
Yeah.
Quick,
Yeah.
eat
Alright.
the ground where they went down in it
That's
just
what
to
I
make
was
sure they're
gonna
not
That's what I
moles.
was gonna say.
Can I just make an earthquake happen and hit everybody in the entire area and destroy the town at the same time?
Dig a tunnel, dig a
Catch
tunnel. Dig a tunnel, dig a tunnel.
He's got the catch
Quick
up.
before the
Dig
hyenas
a tunnel,
No,
quick
the
before
ketchup.
the hyena come.
Yes.
Alright. If I
I do
can
find it funny
remove,
that the bottle's almost empty.
There's a whole nother bottle waiting.
Oh, I know. Those look like the ones from Costco that come in twos.
I'm gonna move if I
Nectar
can
of the
and
gods.
attack that undead just slightly to the north of me then.
Blech.
Should I bother? Yes, I have to.
I only rolled a 62. It's possible.
That turtle is so cute. Look at him.
If you rolled a 62, it's not possible because it doesn't. It can only go to 40. So do your 2d10 for me. Big numbers, big
That
numbers.
undead unit's like, oh, what the hell? Me out of everyone on this map?
Is a 20 a big enough number?
Did you roll 2 10s?
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, basically, Breya's all the people up here to the north, Breya and Yuelia and Valis, just see the turtle just exhale a carpet of flame onto this group of zombies, and they just burn up and dissipate.
He's got it.
Well, I
wanna
helped.
be like that thing.
So, Dorval, what do you want to do?
How is Dorval controlling that turtle?
Yeah. A lot of skill.
He's a
And
turtle whisperer.
I am one of the, like, you know how in Egyptian culture they have like the cobra, whatever. Oh, what is it
Snake
that they do?
charmer?
Yeah, the snake charmers. I'm one of those, but I'm a turtle charmer.
You're a turtle whisperer.
So
Sorry.
actually, Josh, I'm going to obviously keep playing, but I think I'm going to kind of switch around my song. Because you mentioned when I was rejoining that we are actually close to dwarven lands, right?
Correct.
I'm gonna switch my song to something more,
Dwarven?
yes, more dwarven and more like a tune that I guess signifies that we need backup, like we need help.
Okay, you're playing the bagpipes right now, right?
No, actually, I'm playing the flute.
But give me a charisma check for really quick.
Sure.
Or yes, check, not saving throw.
Yep. 1 sec. Okay, charisma.
Charisma.
18.
The flute resists you, but you seem to at least. It's how do I explain this? It's less that you guys are fighting or competing, and more that you're kind of convincing it, persuading it. Ooh,
Drink water, Josh.
my apologies. Something didn't go down all the way. But it seems that like when you try to play the instrument, you're kind of like trying to coax it into playing what you want to play, like cooperating with you.
Right.
I feel like you've earned a hint, so to speak.
Keeps trying to play J-pop.
Oh no.
But
walk away.
I will
Keeps
keep the
trying to play
benefit of
anime
your.
music. No, stop it.
I will keep the benefit of your change in song into raps for the moment. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
I believe that brings us to Crusix.
Crusix!
All right. I believe the original plan was this guy here was completely surrounded. So I think what the idea was.
First, you were gonna tell Valis that Dorval is our friend, and then you were gonna do that.
Yeah, you were going
Turtles
to
are
basically.
friends, not food.
You were basically going to tell on the communication to everyone that
Right.
Dorval's a friend, and clearly the turtle must be friendly.
So I shout out to the night, friends, companions, fear not the giant turtle. It is our ally. Brother Dorval's on its back, rocking out.
Rocking out.
I love that. That is so in character.
I love it too.
Well, everybody does hear it.
There we go. So you have
That really helps the people in the town as well who are watching this giant turtle just
come
wreak
towards it
havoc.
and spurt flame from its maw. They're like, "Oh snap!" and then they're like, "Oh good, it's on our side."
I'm going to also holler down to the troops below to keep retreating, and I will pick up the weakest unit to get them out of there.
Joke's on you. Dorval's now a necromancer and undead.
Okay, so you're picking up Ree?
Yes.
Ree! I love Ree.
Oh shit.
Ah!
And then Crusix crash lands.
All right, guys. All right, I'm gonna put this in. I'm gonna put this in auto driving. No, it's off button. Pull the lever, Crunk.
Clever.
All right, is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
Wait, do you have any
Tell
more
my
movement?
doctors on board to start patching up. Let's go.
Do you have any more movement to start moving them?
Nope, that's all my movement. But I'm
Okay.
gonna spend the next getting them back to base.
Just checking.
Because these guys were getting surrounded down here.
Yeah.
Or he might be able to beat that. Let's see. Nicely done, Lucas.
Damn.
Lucas!
That was almost a max roll.
And it only has 1 HP, so it's done.
Should have grabbed Lucas.
Is that moth lady?
No, that's Lucas.
No, that was
the-
a halfling.
Oh,
Ooh,
okay.
19 morale boost.
Woo!
Damn.
And he's gonna go back into the shadows.
As he does.
He's just gonna do some guerrilla tactics out here while everybody retreats. All right, Suba.
Run, Suba, run!
Yeah, I think Suba's gonna go ahead and go back into.
I'm sorry, Mirra, I didn't move for you.
No, that's okay. I can stop
I forgot that you were anchored onto my screen. I was just kind of.
I'm counting on you, Crusix.
All right, so this brings us to Matthias. 70-10 versus 70 Doji. That's even. What did Matthias roll? 24. Took a while to register. Matthias. Matthias!
Josh, listen.
Sir.
You're not supposed to let the good guy lose like that.
So rude.
Stop making him go out in paper mache armor.
Elias.
It's like a rampaging toddler with a wiffle ball bat.
I'm
Oh,
just a swinging.
So I came in shooting.
And I'm
Well,
Mia's.
anyway,
So
so
anyway,
then
I
anyway,
started
I started shooting.
And I'm Mia's. And the
I'm gonna
shotgun
swing at that guy to
is
the north of me.
Okay.
shot again.
Um,
I hit something, but it wasn't what I was aiming for, so I missed.
So I
love
missed.
that skin.
So I missed.
I love that Game Grumps skit. I quote it all the time and Jenny hates me for it.
The one that I quote all the
34?
time that gets me yelled at by Stephanie is, "Yo, I'm fond of the Kokiri tribe."
Elias is 5.
Yep, and I
5d10.
rolled 34.
Oh, you rolled a 34. Okay. I rolled a 19. Hit
Yeah.
me! Hit me!
Ah,
Still 1d4,
Hit me
right?
with your best
Yeah.
shot. Fire away.
I think I like this dice. That's a 4.
Nice.
Oh, such a poor, sleepy, fat, round baby. Yeah.
And that will
I
end Elias'
know.
turn.
ugh.
I
Stop
think
that.
that's everybody.
Next up, monsters.
It's now the months.
Actually, due to the dice that I just rolled,
They all accidentally committed self-seppuku.
Oh no. Seppuku.
all of a sudden, all the undead that were fighting, they all just stopped moving.
I've seen this before. Someone took down the Federation trade ship.
And you see them all starting to twitch again. And the red barrier, the red aura around the fort begins to fade downward. And everything starts to turn back into regular moonlight.
Woo.
A double rainbow. What does it mean?
Oh
What
no.
does it mean?
Fight on, brothers and sisters! The dawn approaches!
Well, no. Then they all start to speak in unison again.
They're going to tell us about our extended car warranty. I'm crashing this airship right next to it.
Who among you is the leader?
Me.
Me.
That would be me.
Okay, hold on. I'm pretty sure I'm a giant turtle right now.
Not
I'm pretty
it.
sure that I
I'm
am.
pretty sure
at your
Breya is the leader
reins.
through spirit.
Breya.
There's some like
is
random
the
grunt on my
leader.
ship that just raises his hand. I'm the leader! Shut up, Bob. Sorry.
Elias is gonna be like,
Aw,
I don't
Bob's
know
trying to
them.
sacrifice himself. Let him do it.
He tried so hard.
I just want to say if Mikey was here, he'd be shoving us all aside and saying he's the leader.
Technically, our
Mhm.
Well, if you guys want to take a moment, I need to speak to the one that makes the decisions.
That would be
That's me.
Breya.
Breya.
Technically, in this situation, that's technically Matthias.
I don't know if he would
It
qualify
is
though.
his fort.
Breya will say if you have something to say, you can say it to everyone.
It is Matthias's fort.
So we should find out if they mean like the decisions for like the people or
Oh,
the
never mind, everyone.
like-
Everyone died. Doesn't
except
matter.
the turtle. Except the
Nuke
turtle.
just dropped. With this, we
I
just
see
met
the
some
turtle
crowd.
still. It's all good.
The turtle survived. The rest of us.
The turtle swimming through the nuclear radiation.
Here it is, Hero Forge Pro Plus download. So $14.99, and we get 5 downloads. So even with the, because they're on sale for like $3.99, so $4 per. So that's still cheaper. So if we chip in and get Josh the Hero Forge Pro Plus download, then he can get all of ours for cheaper.
I mean, I get paid. Steffi gets paid tomorrow. I'll just buy mine just straight up. I here, buy it and just send it to Josh.
Well, do you have
Hey,
TaleSpire? 'Cause otherwise you'd have
Yeah.
to send it. Okay, then you can put yours.
Does he have TaleSpire currently?
You're watching
streaming
it.
TaleSpire?
Oh, sorry.
And now
For
he's
some reason, I
playing.
thought
I
someone
know.
else was talking. I thought Shrike was talking. I'm like, wait a minute. Shrike have it? But yeah, so that's cheaper. That's what I was looking at before. Because then if you download that, you get 5 virtual downloads for $14.99 instead of they're on sale for $3.99 a piece.
Well, then I'll just send Josh the $15, and then we can just send him our characters.
I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna get paid until next Tuesday, and which is stupid, but
Well, there's no particular rush either.
I have Breya
true.
downloaded.
True.
I already bought her,
Did you put her
but
in?
I don't know if I. Yeah, I've already bought her.
Did you?
I can see her. I don't know how to put her in, but I could see her when I pull up my Hero Forge stuff
I had to Google.
right in TaleSpire.
If you go to YouTube, it shows you. I watched a few things how to do
Yep.
it.
Hold on.
To the
I'll
internet.
show you.
I mean, I've
Look,
got Crusix
see?
saved right now. I just
She's
gotta buy
right
them.
here. I just don't know what to do from here.
Josh, I am a bit sad that Hero Forge didn't include one thing.
Hang on, I'm still trying to click.
What's that?
As per what we discussed earlier
Oh,
about
Hang on,
a
one
certain
sec.
little friend of mine. They didn't have no big versions of it.
So is that? Oh, is that accurate then?
Yeah, that's her
Okay.
right there. I
Yeah,
just don't know
and-
how to use it.
And you clicked the linky button. Can you
Cat,
just like
can
drag
I have
her
my
onto
desk
the map?
back? You chubby, chunky
I
little.
can't drag her. I've tried.
Huh.
If I click this, it undownloads her. And then I click it again and it downloads her. I can't
What
do
happens if
anything
you
by
right-click?
right-clicking. Nope.
Nothing with right clicking.
Yeah.
Now
If
I
I
know.
right-click, it brings up a little image of her, but I can't do anything with it.
You'd have to Google.
I found
do
it.
that.
I found it.
Yeah.
Oh, you have access?
Aha!
Oh my
looky there.
gosh!
That is freaking awesome! Through
Look
the
at Breya.
power of being DM.
Yeah.
Aha!
Aha!
Oh, that looks so good.
Well, we're actually gonna make this like. Hang on.
Whoa.
I am the
Turn up the light so I can see then.
She turns
That's
around,
what I
looks
said,
at the
we're-
turtle, and goes, "Come here, big boy. It's turtle soup time."
Oh no.
All right, we're gonna put Breya's 10 out of. Oh, I guess she's currently on 10. Goodbye, old Breya.
Bye, Dwarf Breya.
Make you not unique.
Dwarf Breya.
GM
she will be
tools.
missed.
Make unique.
Oh my god, the whole map
I
like
saw
shook
that.
when
oh,
you set her
that
down.
is so cool.
That is freaking awesome.
Put the light on
And she has her anchor.
Light.
Daisy
dark.
May,
It's so dark.
baby, come here.
Oh,
Dark.
it's nighttime.
But I can't.
Come here.
Yeah,
Come
but
here.
she was holding a torch
No.
or whatever. I want to see her.
I can't turn the flashlight on until it's in my control.
Hang on. I have one more thing to do. GM tools, player permission. There we go.
Yay!
So one thing at a time.
Sorry, I got excited.
Once everybody gets a good look, I have to go back to storytelling.
Josh, do you need the STL or the 3D?
Bless you. Bless you.
You do the 3D model for TaleSpire.
Yeah, the
Gotcha.
STL is to print it.
To print your own stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see. I see. That one's the 3D printer one. Gotcha. That makes sense.
All right, back down to normal size you go.
Yep. I think I was here.
Oh, you were moving yourself too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were there.
Josh, you remember that Dungeon Alchemist program I was telling you about?
Uh-huh.
Apparently, HeroForge is integrated with that as well too.
Interesting.
That's really cool. TaleSpire, Harpy, Dungeon Alchemist, Berserker's Games, Tabletop Simulator are all featured through, like they're all like integrated with.
Good.
So
Oh,
there's
we'll have to look into some of this stuff later.
yeah, I've never heard of a Harpy or Berserker's Game tabletop before, so I don't know.
So, Breya,
Yes.
you can choose whether or not you relay what you hear and what you say, because you have the communications open at the moment.
Okay.
But the fog disappears and all the undead are gone.
Good.
Okay.
Then, right before you feel odd. It's this is like weird sensation, and just maybe 10, 15 feet in front of Breya, you see the world start to shift. The best thing I could describe it as is like, you know, on a hot day, like above the pavement, it gets like really wavy.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that, but like really slow.
Like
And
you're
then-
in the desert and you're imagining the oasis ahead of you.
And then you see like a split, like a thin line, and then it just opens up. And it looks like just darkness as this skeleton wearing a robe walks through clunkily, slowly. And it just, as it walks through, shambling, it just kind of hangs its head like this. And the voice keeps talking.
Does it look like Mirra sees it too? Because she's next to me.
Do I see
Well,
it?
you guys are like, I know that
so far apart. We're like, yeah.
you guys are
It's about like 30 feet away, right?
no, it's maybe
How far is she?
maybe like a mile.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
each
no, you're fucked.
square, yeah.
Anyways,
And I would walk 100 meters.
Did you get Aurora's turn when you were doing all the battle stuff?
Yeah, he started.
That's right. Okay, just making sure.
okay. What does the voice say?
What does the voice say? Sorry,
Eh.
but it continues to talk. And you just see this thing. It just has its hand dangled, and its jaw just moves as it talks, kind of like a puppet, really.
You get it, Ghost Man. You're real creepy.
For now, a parley to discuss.
Oh.
That's all he says.
For right now, are you willing to talk to it?
Do it. Talk to him. He seems like a nice guy. He said
How does
parley.
the party feel?
Are you...
How does the party feel?
I'm good. Mirra likes talking to people.
Dorval has a very distinct hate for undead, so against. Kill it.
Can
Yeah.
Mirra start making her way over to Breya? I just want to put that
Yeah,
out
yeah,
there.
if you want
while
to.
you're a fucking mile away.
I
That's-
know it's
it'll-
gonna take me a
It'll
while,
take a bit, but
but I just want to put
yeah,
that
you
out
can
there.
join her.
Yeah.
Breya will look at him and say what you have to say. I would go nowhere with you.
He just wants to
Well-
talk. He didn't say he wanted to go anywhere.
He'll go.
Either way, I came to say my piece.
Aw, I like him.
He goes, 3 days. 3 days I will have you make a decision.
ring, you guys.
Oh no.
Some guy,
No.
that's a good one.
Now that I know where you are, I will have all this interference end one way or another.
I mean, bro.
So I charge at him and attack him.
Breya,
You're just gonna
you're so
kill the minion
rude.
that's talking?
Well, the guy. Okay, hold on. The guy who's shambling along and talking, he came through a portal, yes?
Correct.
So,
Breya would probably interpret this to be that this skeleton is probably the one holding the door open.
yeah, I don't think he's like the big bad, but what if we capture him? Maybe
I
we
mean, you
can
could.
interrogate him.
Given Breya's knowledge of, I mean, it's still minor, but it's knowledge enough. Like, a necromancer can undo their control over undead at any point in time.
Mm.
So if you catch
So-
it, it's like, okay, turns it
So
off.
just sever the connection. Let me think.
But let him tell us what he's going to do, because then we get like
So,
know ahead of time.
here's my offer. No, not offer. These are my demands. Your group comes through the portal. We settle this. While you and me are settling this, no harm comes to the living. If you decline this challenge, in 3 days, I will send my entire army to wipe Stalwart from the map permanently.
And you expect me to believe that you're not just going to do that anyway?
It is no consequence to me whether you trust or believe my words.
Well, if we kill him, he can't send the army.
Well,
That's
Correct.
what I was thinking.
It's a puppet. It's not him. So if we
It's
kill,
probably not the leader.
Well, if Mitchell's talking about the big bad, then yes. If you kill the big bad, then the undead stop.
Yeah, I was assuming Mitchell meant that, if we
Not the-
went through
not
the
the
portal
puppet,
and
we
actually...
could-
oh, I,
Do you
destroy
I
the
was
puppet.
referring to the puppet.
Do you guys think if we accept the deal, he'll bring us closer to where the actual big bad is? Like,
He'll-
if we go through the portal, kill him,
probab-
do you think he'll be...
Let me say this. I want the personal satisfaction of removing the thorn from my side.
That's kind of hot, dude.
Is this
Alright,
the
it's a
page
fight. Let's
master?
go.
Are you the page master? I
the
want-
thorn from your
The page
side?
master.
yeah,
We've
the-
only
the
been
dude
here
that-
for a couple days. How much could we really be disrupting your plans?
It's probably
Oh.
Elias, to be honest.
You've been disrupting my plans for quite some time.
Great, we'll keep at that.
We first met in the dream world, where you stole millennia's worth of research and preparation.
That
I
doesn't
think that
sound like
seems an
us.
awful long.
Oh, it's Deeproot! Deeproot wants to fight?
Oh no!
Millennia sounds like an awful long time to
It
hold a grudge.
does. Well, but it sounds like it's the page master dude that
I
we
don't
keep
think
seeing.
we have the ability to steal from the dream world.
Is this Rita Repulsa?
If
There
we
should be the
obtained
aura.
something in the dream world, it
No,
was meant
it's-
to be.
It's the
And you were
bad
not
guy
meant to
that.
have it.
No, it's the bad. Isn't this the bad guy that we were fighting when we went into quote unquote rescue or clear Marcus's crystal?
It
Correct.
very well could be, but
Yes.
I can't say that's what's happening because we don't remember.
Well,
No,
you
we
don't. You remember
the event,
everything
we don't
else.
remember why.
Oh,
We
I
just don't
thought we
remember
remembered
Marcus.
nothing about that.
No, you remember everything but Marcus's name.
Okay.
So we don't remember.
Uh,
yeah.
Okay, I'll change what I say then and say,
Okay.
I think I recall who you are. You were in the crystal.
Correct.
Well, you snooze, you lose.
Breya, you're being rude.
Well, perish, I guess.
You have been trying to corrupt
Kill them.
natural creations. And it is our job to cleanse them. You can't be mad if we do our job and you
And-
fail yours.
We're better at your
Oh, them's fighting words.
We're better at our job than you are at yours. You can't be mad about that.
But other people can chime in too. But
Can everyone hear him?
And
Yeah.
Shrike and
Can everyone
Dorval
hear how
him.
I'm replying?
correct.
Okay,
Wait,
awesome.
are Shrike and Dorval able to hear her replies?
Not Shrike. For
I'll
real.
relay them to Shrike.
Is Dorval like every time Breya says something, he's like, "Hold on, okay, okay, all right, Shrike, this is what she said."
Yes, yes, I am.
There you go.
Right? This is what the old wispy voice said, and this was what Breya said.
Aurora's just in the tower, like, punch him in the face, punch him in the face, punch him in the face.
And, like, sometimes mid-sentence, I'll be like, "Die, you fucking undead piece of shit."
Well, Breya will say out loud again, so everyone can hear. How does everyone feel about round 2, where we defeat him again? Because that's what it seems like he wants.
I wasn't there for the first.
That's true. I don't want him
I want to
to
be
keep
there for
hurting
the second.
Stalwart.
Shrike had a real learning had a real growth opportunity on that first session.
I've been muted for so long.
Oh my god.
Crusix!
Holy crap, Paul.
I've said so many things and no
We
one
need
said
to set-
nothing, and I'm
We
like,
need to
Crusix.
like
Why do you
set a
keep muting
30-second
yourself?
timer.
I didn't mean
Paul.
to. I
Paul.
said Dorval's essentially a podcast for Shrike. He has his own character voices and everything, and
Yes.
just repeats back everything he hears.
Yes. I don't want him to keep hurting Stalwart. And if he says that he won't attack for a few days, maybe we use this time to
He said he won't attack the living period for 3
Yeah.
days.
yeah, so we take the 3 days to like
So-
gear up and stuff, and then because I don't want him to keep attacking Stalwart
I agree.
just because of us.
We spend the 3 days resting, preparing, healing the wounded, and on the 3rd day, we kick his ass.
We
I think
rise
the
from the
implication was
dead.
that-
I'm gonna say, I think
I
you.
think the implication is that he wants us to come with him. And
He
for-
said that you have 3 days to decide.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Shrike out loud.
Curiously,
Shrike out loud is
That's
going
what
to
you say.
say, after the 3 days, if we come, does that mean the living are back on the chopping block, or are they going to be safe while we're in there?
Can
He
the Shrike
said as
turtle
long
talk?
as long as you are confronting each other, he will not harm the living.
do you have a name?
The Page Master.
There are
Really?
some who call me
Not
Mirra?
you.
Tim.
Not you.
Tim.
I asked the
Tim.
skeletal man if he has a name.
He's a joker. He's a smoker. He's a midnight toker.
Is he not answering, or is Josh frozen?
There's a
we're all
pause.
Okay.
Sorry.
But there is an awkward moment of silence where the undead skeleton, rogue skeleton, just kind of hangs there. And he goes, "Some refer to me as Vecna."
Oh.
Oh, great.
Can I do a knowledge religion on that? Or do I just know who fucking Vecna is?
I mean, I'm willing to say that if any of your characters are into like legends and myths and
Oh, it's
fables,
the boogeyman.
He's on our
And
notes.
I
We've
know,
heard of
Josh,
him
who
before.
this is.
He's on
I
our
mean,
notes.
the thing is that I was about to say the whole world knows pretty much who Vecna is. So unless you are living under a rock per se,
Right.
like you would know who Vecna is in the D&D world.
He's in our
Okay,
notes. We've heard of him before. He's working on experiments. And
what I'm hearing.
we stopped him from
Shrike
working
is
on
the only one who
experiments.
doesn't know who this person is.
Yeah, that I assume that what we did to stop him was cleansing Marcus's crystal.
We've heard of him
For
before.
your eye, bitch. I'm coming for your eye.
Well, Breya's read a lot, so she's gonna know who
Specifically
Vecna
your
is,
eye.
But
right?
we've heard of him before. He's in my
No,
notes.
but I recognize that,
No,
but I'm clarifying.
notes.
Mirra, shut up! Because
com-
Breya's read a lot, before we've ever heard of him, she would have already had an idea of this kind
Yeah.
of boogeyman-esque figure.
Probably the only person in your group that would have no idea who Vecna
Shrike.
is
Aurora?
Shrike.
Oh, Shrike, okay. I thought it was Aurora, because Aurora doesn't read.
Oh, Aurora probably
Oh.
has. Aurora's probably still heard
Get 'em.
tales
I'm like,
of
get him.
mighty wizards and warriors.
Chop chop.
Right,
across the
or
world.
Aurora
So,
would have heard
what I
about
was
it
gonna
in
ask-
between bar fights.
Is this Vecna, like, the Lich Vecna that is, like, canonically, like, is that what the legend says? He's a master wizard who's a ghosty man?
He
Like,
was considered the strongest necromancer that ever lived that almost ascended to godhood.
okay.
Okay, so like
And that's
He's
why
God.
Acerak pissed him off, because Acerak managed to do it when he didn't.
Getting steady for that test.
so what
So
I'm
that's the
hearing
whole-
is we're gonna go fight, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm hearing is that he
Tell
wants
him
me to
though.
believe he's the boogeyman.
We need to tell him though that we need some time to think about it, so he will accept our 3 days.
He's giving you 3 days.
Because if we tell him right now that yes, we accept and we'll come and fight him, he's gonna expect us to go now. So
Of
if we
course.
say we need time to think about it, but we will.
He literally said he's giving us 3 days, but he's gonna say his piece.
Okay.
As
So
I-
he's
he
pretty
said
much
his
gonna
piece.
talk and then leaves.
He said his piece. The portal's going to stay open for 3 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoever's going to come through needs to come through together.
Okay.
But in 3 days, if no one goes through that portal, it shuts, and he's going to send his entire army to just clean house.
Okay.
I'll look at him and say, very well, 3 days.
Prepare to lose an eye, Vecna. 3 days.
As
A hand, an
We're
eye.
gonna go get the kids from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
as the skeleton kind of starts to kind of slump into like a, I guess you could say, like a crossed legs, like he's sitting on the ground with his legs crossed and his head slumps more. He says one last thing before going completely silent. I look
Turtles allowed.
forward to our meeting. You're going to wish I never looked down to notice you.
Oh jeez.
Sounds like
Well-
Loot Boy.
You know, when someone has to look down to notice someone else, that's more of a reflection on the person looking down.
Yeah, they're too tall.
Yeah.
No,
I agree.
no.
They're just
Right
tall.
knows what
quiet.
that feels like.
This platform shoes ain't no joke, yo.
I'm not scared of him.
That's a good retort. I'm not scared of you.
But you are though.
No, Breya doesn't even believe he's who he says he is. Breya thinks that person's a legend.
I went to high school. I ain't scared of this guy.
Oh,
I've seen worse.
so I'm
Look,
actually going to pop out of TaleSpire. Well, I'll leave it up. Why not?
Just put us in a circle so we can all talk.
Yeah.
Well, Shrike,
Oh no. Does Dorval fall when the turtle disappears or something?
as the threat of the undead begins to wane, and now the light starts to crest over the horizon, you hear a very, very gentle, sweet voice of a little girl,
You're all gonna die down here.
and be at peace. And you feel the energy start to drain from you.
the turtle starts to get sleepy, and you just see it. You see it start to just bury back into the ground from where it came from. Dorval, the turtle is burying itself.
While you're on top of it.
Okay, so we're going back to the spirit world turtle. Okay.
Do you just stand on it as it gets lower and lower and lower?
I'm kidding. Yeah, I will stay on it until it brings me to the ground. Yes, but then I'm gonna hop off.
That's fine with the seatbelt. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
10
Seatbelt
points.
stuck.
He wants to tell Mikey he died to freak him out a bit.
Rip.
Dorval gets 10 points for the landing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
So there you have it, folks.
Da, 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 da.
Aurora, did you manage to find out where they were coming from? Because I would like to investigate that first thing. Where they were coming from in the tower.
So I'm assuming everybody pretty much makes their way back to the fort.
Yes, please.
As everybody is kind of grouped together and associating, a very familiar face makes his way through the front gates. A very lively dwarf that you haven't seen in a while.
Greetings, friends.
I run up and glomp onto him.
I glomp back. Actually, I see her coming at me, and I glump first.
I'll give Dorval a hug.
Oh, there is
Probably-
also a very lovely purple weatherproof cloak flowing in the wind as I make my entrance.
Beautiful. I will give Dorval a hug and say
The
I
first-
missed you and I'm happy you are safe.
Probably one of the first thing Breya's thinks of is like, how the hell did he get here?
She's not even worried about it right now. Undead were coming up through a tunnel in the town. Who says Dorval can't get here too?
Ironically, Dorval also arrived via tunnel.
Yeah, true. Secret
Right?
tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
Shrike,
Yes.
when your optics turn back on, you realize that you're how do I word this?
You're
one with
swaddled
the
in so
tree.
many blankets.
You're one with
So
the
many
tree.
blankets.
Your roots are in the tree now. You can't move.
Oh no.
When the light comes back to your eyes, yes, you're swaddled in a lot of blankets, but you find yourself in a very, I wouldn't say it's cold, but it is pretty dark and dusty.
I recognize it at all?
No, not particularly. You don't really recognize any of the people nearby you either.
Oh my god.
Isn't
Is
he
Ressa
supposed to be on the ship?
Oh! That's because you guys left me in the prison or the crypt with everyone.
Oh
We
yeah.
did. Oh,
Keep
And
them
I've been
safe.
asleep the whole
There's-
time.
There's a lot of people moving around, but none of them that you recognize.
oh no.
Uh,
You look to your left and you see one guy look up and go, "Ah, you're
I'm-
finally awake."
I'm just going to say, before someone dies, where are my people?
Before someone dies. One of the, I guess, more religiously dressed individuals near you, she's like, "You're awake." He goes, "Your friends went outside to fight the undead. They haven't come back quite yet. Are you sure you should be moving around?"
Will yell at me later, it's fine. Which way?
She points towards the stairwell, like right around the corner. And she goes, "Oh, but she leans down and takes it and she presents you your right arm.
Keep walking.
All right.
So I'm
I mean-
dropping onto Dorval. I missed you so much.
You guys are-
I missed you too.
Ah!
You guys are pretty much together, so feel free to talk as much as you like.
I missed you so much.
What happened? Like, how did this siege happen?
Okay, so we went to find we went to find Mr. Bellhaven and we couldn't find him, and then we kept getting attacked by these undead, and they were flying undead. We fought an undead dragon, and we checked like a whole bunch of
Cities.
like settlements, and there was no one. There was like the undead like wiped them all out and turned everyone into undead, and then we were trying to like run away from places because undead are scary, and we decided to check this place, and there were still people here, and then there was this bad guy, and he was like all churchy, and he was really mean, and but he was dealt with because of a vampire, and we decided to stay here.
Vampires?
Damn.
Well,
And-
there
and-
was a vampire.
and then we
Crusix says in
decided-
the back.
We decided to stay and help because the ship was like super damaged, and
Ship is
Yeah.
damaged?
the
Whoa.
Not anymore.
not anymore. And
Dude.
but then the undead
Josh,
kept
what are you
attacking, and
creating?
this night was supposed to be like a super bad night, and so it was the worst, and so we put everybody in the prison to keep them safe because it's like underground and safe, and and Lady Alessandra and Lucas and I don't know it. Do you know
The
do
Muffin
you know
Man.
Suba? Do you know Suba?
No, I do
Oh.
not.
Suba's here.
Suba being nearby is like, that is me.
This is our friend Suba. He was here, and we rescued them from the prison. They were in the prison first before we put everybody else in the prison. But so
Golvir speaks up. So is anybody gonna stop her and do the summary, or
No,
we
no.
just kinda
You
let
just
this
go
happen.
with it. If you try to stop her, she just
I mean,
keeps
it's
going.
not any different from back in our school days, but like that's still never changed, really.
I interrupt him and I say, I've missed this. Please let her continue.
He puts his hands up. Okay.
Rhea takes out her cell phone and scrolls TikTok the entire time Mirra's recapping.
Wait, hold on.
I'm waiting for someone to stop me. But and so they were helping, and
Electro.
I missed you.
Ugh.
Oh. News of Ressa, news of your egg.
Oh my
What-
gosh,
what-
the eggy hatch, and this is it. And we look over, and Quip's giant. He's mount size now.
Oh my!
Oh,
I bow.
He
Dorval
got big.
hasn't wet Pollux yet.
And we have a ship cat named Pollux, and he has
More
wings.
than beard.
And,
He's
and then-
beautiful.
Cat has wings.
And Shrike got hurt, and he's sleeping. But he's okay because he's in the dream world, so I know he's not dead or anything.
Actually, I can comment on that. So, I found Shrike in the spirit world. I went looking for you all, and I found, I guess, him damaged, and
yeah, he's sleeping.
there was like this heat coming out of his chest, and I didn't know what was going on. I didn't think there was really a way to help him, and so I laid my hands on his chest and I was saying a prayer to the Allfather for him when
Died.
Oh no!
all of
It didn't
when all of
work.
a sudden it like all this energy started appearing, and one of the crystals appeared actually in his chest, in Shrike's chest. Except, what's his name? The tree guy. What's his name?
Deeproot.
Deeproot. Deeproot said that this one was different. That it was like manufactured or something. And there was writing all over it, and so I recognized the words, and I said the words out loud. And Shrike was that damn turtle. He brought me into this fight.
Shrike was
That
the turtle. Turtle Shrike.
Shrike is gonna walk up to the group and be like, "So that wasn't a dream? I was a turtle."
Shrike, and I glomp onto Shrike.
Wakes up, man. I'm craving lettuce. Like a
Why
lot.
am I craving lettuce?
Why do I
really
feel like
want
my
some
throat was on
pineapple
fire?
and some cactus.
Why is
Why
my
was my
stomach
throat
feeling
on fire?
spicy?
Why is it spicy?
Why is this spicy?
Ugh, I feel like I ate something bad.
Ugh.
Why does it feel like I ate like thousands of skeletons? It's
Oh.
crazy.
Zombies.
Weird. It's a
thought he was
weird
gonna
feeling, man.
say-
It's...
I thought you were gonna say thousands of Skittles and then roast me out with the skeletons.
I'm sorry. He ate a bunch of skeletons.
There we go.
He needs his protein. He's a growing boy. He
I'm-
can't help it.
I glomp
I'm
onto
glad
Shrike.
that everyone's
Shrike.
catching up, but I need to go investigate how those undead were getting out inside the town. Breya's gonna go
Yeah,
inside.
we need
Lady Alessandra said they were coming from the tower. Oh,
Shrike is gonna pull his hand out of his backpack and be like, "Oh, we
His
like
arm?
head that way." Yeah, his whole arm. But while we do that, could somebody give me a hand?
But you have a hand.
Do-
It's in your hand.
I will give him a hand, yes.
do we know where Lydia is?
Lydia. Yeah,
Lydia
y'all
went
ever
to take a
tried
nap.
Lydia?
Lydia's really tired, and Lydia went to have a nap.
DM.
Lydia hasn't come back yet.
We gotta
God
go search
damn
for
it,
Lydia.
guys.
Then I'm running back out to the ship and activating, yelling, "We need to find the captain."
The
Give
captain
me
is so
investigation check.
I want to help.
All right, you guys
I
look
have
for Lydia. I'm gonna investigate about the tower with Aurora, and I will go find
Yeah.
Aurora and take Aurora's hand.
You're coming to help,
15.
I'm helping.
then you can do a perception check, but give me the number.
15 investigation, good sir.
Okay. Remember to use your passives if they're higher.
So yeah,
Uh,
that's the thing is I have a very high investigation.
Passive it's the same
Nice.
number, so
Okay, so
it's an 11.
Perception.
Oh,
Okay.
passive perception is 17, but passive investigation's an 11.
Okay, so mine.
Oh, that was
let's-
almost really good. Okay, 16 for passive.
Almost
so it's
really
higher.
good.
16.
My passive
wait,
investigation
no,
is
hang on.
18.
My
Your passive
passive,
like 23, isn't it?
my passive perception's 22. Sorry.
Oh, 22.
Yum.
So we got a 22 for perception, and then a what for investigation?
15.
My passive investigation is 18.
18.
Did you want to try and roll higher, or did
I
you
would
try?
love to. Yeah, I will.
You should always try to see if you can get higher.
26.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fantastic. Yes, you guys do find Lydia. She is
Yes.
not in a good place.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's right. She was taking a nap.
Oh
A
no.
dirt nap.
I was about to say a
On the
dirt nap.
battlefield.
Is she currently surrounded? Or is she
All
just
the undead
wounded on the
disappeared.
battlefield? Right.
I would
Okay,
say
then...
even your allied undead have disappeared.
Oh, well, hell.
But Lydia just is unconscious on the ground when you find her.
How far from town are we?
About 2 miles.
Okay, yeah. Let's go ahead and get her loaded up on the ship and get her back immediately.
Yeah.
Do we have any medical crew on board? Do we go ahead and start tending to her wounds?
I mean,
Is
whatever Dorval and Mirra can provide.
is
I am a
Slow
doctor.
Step
Alrighty.
still unconscious?
Say what?
Is Slow
Slow
Step
Step.
still unconscious?
Yes, but he's like all the you took all the people off of the
home
ship,
to
so he's
the-
back in
yeah.
prison.
Okay, dang. Well, we had a medical
Alright.
personnel, but
Well, I have healing magic.
he needs medic. He needs a medic.
Are you
Our
using
medic
that
needs a
healing
medic.
magic on Shrike?
Can you say it again?
Aren't we putting the healing magic on Shrike so he can reattach his arm?
You're really
Wait,
You
sorry,
don't
I
need
did
to-
already say that I was going to help you.
You don't need to apply healing magic to reattach it.
Oh,
Turns out
fantastic.
super glue's just as helpful.
Duct tape.
Your parts can become damaged, but they can be separated technically. You should never
You're
separate them forcefully, though.
Did you ask? Are we allowed to have these? Okay. I don't know. It just seems too good, too tempting to have right now. I haven't done nothing to earn them yet. I haven't earned a gingerbread cupcake.
Oh no!
But Lydia is alive.
Yay!
She is.
Okay.
She is good.
She
Okay,
gets swaddled
is
in all
she
the blankets.
stable?
Yes,
Okay.
she's alive and stable. Breya,
And,
and I'm assuming Aurora.
Yes.
and
Yeah,
Elias.
I took Aurora's hand and dragged Aurora with me.
And I
Okay.
threw Breya in the direction that we were running.
Elias
Okay,
is also
so-
going that way.
How are we
So-
gonna roll this to see if Aurora successfully throws me?
You're gonna. Where are you throwing her?
Aurora's
Onward.
trying to throw me in the direction we're running.
She tried to hold her hand, and Aurora's like, "Huh?"
Oh, well, I mean, that's the whole acrobatics athletics contest. If you want to start grabbing and throwing each other.
I
Well,
rolled.
I need
a
a hand
15 to
check.
hold
I need to
on.
see hands at all times.
That's a 24. Get up.
Okay, I get thrown. God, I was just trying to lead you. Let's go.
You get thrown forward about 6 feet. You land gracefully. I don't imagine that Aurora was like trying to hurt you.
No.
You know how like little kids between their parents, each one grabs a hand and you kind of like swing back
Yep.
and forth. So
Yep.
I just imagine Aurora just kind of swings you forward and lets go.
I imagine this is more of the oh fuck, what's his name? The Wolverine and
The Cannonball Special.
yeah, the
Awesome.
Cannonball Special, yes.
When she lands, does she do the Patton Scarlett Johansson pose?
No, I've got an
Aw.
anchor in my hand.
Oh, the superhero. one. But I'm assuming that you guys are sprinting towards the tower, sprinting up the stairs. You guys
Yeah.
see that the latch in the middle of the room is completely open.
Well, this is that tunnel that Mirra went
So-
into.
Ree and the Moth Girl have gone with you.
Mhm.
"They're the ones that came up. I didn't go in it at all."
So they couldn't really catch up, but now that they have, before you go in, she goes, "We made it all the way to the other end, but it's just a cave in. There's nowhere else to go."
Well, we might want to try to seal this up because I have a feeling they somehow came through here.
I mean, we did just see them open portals.
That is true, but we saw one of them open a portal.
Still, we know they're capable of it now, though.
Yeah,
Who knows how many can come through a portal?
I still would feel a lot more comfortable if we just somehow sealed this off. The problem is I don't know if it's possible.
It can cause an additional cave in, I guess.
Elias walks up behind you
More
and says, "I can
explosions."
blow things up."
I was thinking more like putting something really heavy over the latch.
Oh, okay.
But it's like, what's the heaviest thing around here?
Aurora.
The cannons.
The what?
The cannons.
Can we move one of the really heavy cannon like on top of it?
We sounds like a lot of people.
I was thinking me and Aurora with our
I was
Shrike.
about to say it would probably boil down to you and Aurora.
Can we give it a try?
Yeah.
Okay, Aurora. You gotta beat me.
So
Alright? You gotta
what is
use all your
your-
strength.
what is your lift capacity?
How do I find that out?
There's a calculator we can pull up online. Let's
I
see.
have
that.
16 strength.
It's actually, if you go into your inventory and at the top click on weight carried, it'll tell you how much you can push, drag, or lift.
Okay.
So click on weight carried under
Push,
inventory.
drag, or lift a weight in pounds up to twice your carrying capacity, or
It should say
30
at the
times
top.
your strength score.
Like mine is
Literally
240.
Top. You
480 pounds.
540.
So you guys, give
Which,
or take, break
the
about
record, you're
900 pounds, which is a little bit less than what you need to lift this thing.
We
But
have Elias with us.
Elias doesn't do sweaty jobs. Hey,
Oh.
I'm kidding.
labor is not
Elias,
my
Elias
thing.
will, Elias will help out.
well, but it would still be, in order to even contribute to lifting this, you would have to at least be able to lift 400 pounds.
Oh yeah, no, I'm out.
Well, I mean, you can still assist, but it's like one of those people that, like, how do I word it?
No, I'm
You're
I'm
not
just gonna
really
keep
helping.
I'm
I
gonna
wouldn't say,
keep
have you
people
ever
out of
had,
their
like,
way.
have you ever
Really?
lifted something, but one person in your group isn't, like, actually lifting, they're just kind of there, like, touching it?
Every time I lift thing with my child.
But basically, you would still be trying to lift it, but your strength wouldn't be capable of actually moving the object to help lift. If anything, you would help keep balance so that they don't drop it.
I'm gonna walk ahead of them so
Why
that
don't we
I
just
can
drag
keep
it?
pedestrians out of the way.
Like, why are we lifting it? Why don't we just drag it?
You could.
Let's do that.
But the score is the same whether you lift, drag, or push.
I'd say the only difference is that it's going to take a lot more time to move it because it's going to be a lot harder to drag it than carry it.
Okay, then let's carry it. I was thinking just, you know,
I have
not
a
drop it on our
slightly
toes.
out of character because Elias wouldn't know this, but if you asked your friend Shrike to reduce the size of it,
You're gonna set something so heavy on top of it that it like falls through because it's just wooden planks. It's just gonna fall through the hole.
Don't they have wheels on
no.
them?
If you ask your friend Shrike,
They do
he
not
has
have wheels on them.
reduce.
I do
Can
not.
reduce
Okay.
the size of the cannon and make it a lot easier. You just kind of need Shrike to do it.
I feel like Aurora and Breya would just power through it.
Right?
Yeah, we're powering through it.
All I was getting at is it would just be a strength check just to see progress.
Okay. Yeah,
So
mine
we
is
roll
only 2
strength
for
But
check?
yes, if Shrike made it smaller, then it would be super easy to carry.
But Shrike's not there right now, so do a
Okay,
strength
let's
check.
just carry it, Aurora.
Aurora.
Roar.
Couldn't be a Pokemon.
Are you
Oh,
only
or
carrying?
not.
Are you only carrying one cannon to the door, or?
Aurora,
Well, you
what'd
said one of
roll?
them is like 1,000 pounds, didn't you?
They're gonna fill
Yeah.
the room with
I think
cannons.
just one.
Okay, I was
Fine.
just asking.
They're gonna
Oh
fill
no,
the room with cannons.
Aurora!
So I need you both to give me a strength check.
Aurora!
That's all you see about that. I got
Pete-
it straight.
Josh, I have a clarification because I had an inspiration on Shrike prior to having Elias, and then Elias got one with a nat 20. I have inspiration on both. Does that count?
You can
different
use
characters.
the inspiration on Elias, but you can no longer get inspiration on Elias.
Okay.
Let Aurora have
I
it.
technically have 2 inspirations though because I have one on Shrike too.
DM? DM?
Uh-huh.
We rolled.
I didn't hear any numbers, so I don't.
Oh. I got a 6.
I got a 13.
I'll be right back.
So your first
No,
attempt,
Josh is just stuck loading.
your guys' first attempt in the first about half hour of trying to move this is you get nowhere.
All right, next half hour.
You know the scene in Futurama where they're trying
Oh,
to push that
nat
big metal
20.
grate and Bender's pushing the other
That's
direction and he goes, "Oh, pull." That's what was happening on their first attempt.
What was Breya's?
6.
Oh my god, they swapped
You-
positions.
Now that was a dirty 20, right? Not a nat 20?
Mine was a nat 20.
Oh, so
Natural 20! You get inspiration.
Already. Okay.
but what was the grand total?
Super inspiration. 26. 20.
I
No,
think you
24.
Can't you
24.
only have one inspiration at a time?
Correct.
You better give me that other inspiration so you don't waste this new
No,
one.
I'm combining the inspirations to make super inspiration.
You can't do that.
Yes, he can.
In
Have
his
you not heard? Of
in his mind,
of
that's
Kachina?
exactly what's happening. And I apologize. What was Breya's number? So 24. 30. Okay. You did at least get the cannon to the tower
Oh, thank
in
God.
the next half hour or so.
Next roll. I rolled a nat 1. Can I have inspiration,
He
please?
climbed into the
I'll
cannon.
give you my inspiration if you'd like it.
Thank you. I will take it with no hesitation.
I
I rolled
got
a
a
nat
30.
2. I got 5.
I got a 30,
You,
20.
hold on. You can have Shrike's
Dirty 20.
inspiration.
And what was Breya's?
I got a 5. I don't think I could take your inspiration for another roll.
You can take as many inspiration dice as you want, as
Yep,
long as
take-
people are willing to give it.
All right, I'm
Take
taking
Shrike.
strikes. Nat 20!
Natural 20!
I get inspiration!
So we have a dirty 20 and a natural 20. But your
Yes.
grand total is what?
Mine's 23.
Okay, so 43. So in this go, you managed to get it at least halfway up the tower. You guys are starting to get kind of burned out at this point.
Oh, the freaking tower. Yeah.
Next roll.
Roll again.
If you guys roll badly, you will probably get a point of exhaustion.
17.
I'm using my
Oh my
inspiration.
god.
I got an 8.
Hold on. Take Elias's inspiration.
Got it. I got a 9.
Oh my god!
So since Pedi's gone, Breya's the new.
I know he like fucking cursed me.
Look,
I gave you
Look.
4. You've had what, 4 inspiration?
Yeah,
Pedi gave
including
you
one of my
his-
own.
Since
take a
Pedi's
number
gone,
5. You can have my inspiration.
Wow.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
We're using
18. I got a 21.
As you guys finally get the stupid cannon on top of the door.
I'm just
She's
picturing
called
like
it
Breya
every
halfway
name
up
she
is
could
like, I
think
just
of.
need my footing.
You guys move it just in place where it fits perfectly over top the entire trap door.
Perfect.
Oh my god, please don't say we have to get down there soon.
The only problem is that the cannon is facing the doorway. So, like, if somebody opens the door, it's gonna be like cannon.
Well, hopefully they mind their business and don't come up here.
Look, they'll only do it 2 times at most.
I will pat Aurora's shoulder and say, let's go join everyone else now that this problem's dealt with.
By then, are we
Aurora's
back
loading.
with the ship?
Yes, and all of your friendly allied academy mates have joined you guys on the ship.
I want to do some medicine checks with Yuelia, because I'm guessing that's what Yuelia would be doing.
Doing what checks?
Medicine, just making sure everyone's like okay.
Sure. Did you want to retrieve everybody that was left in the prison?
Well, oh yes, I would like to let the townspeople know that they are safe and retrieve our other friends from the prison because
At this
it's
point,
scary.
I don't think the townspeople really care what you guys do or what's going on. It's like one of them turned into a giant, one of them maybe got turned into a colossal turtle. Like,
Not that they know that I was a turtle.
no, I'm just saying, like, they've seen a giant person, they've seen a giant turtle. Like, you know what? The world might end tomorrow. Who the hell knows? That's
In 3
basically.
days, it might be over.
We got some Hokage shit going on in our team.
Yeah, they yeah.
Flowing headband.
I want to be the next Hokage.
But Ressa is now on the ship and she is awake.
She doing better? Because she was kind of out of it last time.
She's still recovering, but she is doing better.
I fuss over her again.
As that slow step is still unconscious, unfortunately, but he does look good.
Who is Slow Step? Is he the other bandit?
No, he's the turtle.
Oh yeah, okay.
He was our medic.
He's the turtle druid.
Yeah.
I remember.
He's like Mikey's turtle buddy or something that's following Mikey around.
No, we hired him. He's our medic.
Oh,
Right, but he
Mikey
only
Rodney.
came on because he wanted to learn. He wanted to learn medicine from Mikey, who's better than him in that regard. So what's next, folks?
Fast forward 3 days.
No, we got to actually do stuff. So
I'm gonna say a prayer for so is it slow step? Sorry.
Slow step. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna say a prayer to the Allfather over top of
We
him.
also need to tell Matthias about what that guy talked to us about.
He's there with you.
Yeah. Can I just relay everything that guy said to us?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll pray over slow step as well.
Matthias.
Dear All Father
Cross the line.
and this guy lady and Raven Queen and new unicorn lady and everybody. This guy's like super nice and he really helped us when we needed it, but he's not doing so good. So if you can watch over him, we'd super appreciate it. Thank you very much. Oh, sorry.
One chain from your book begins to deteriorate and fade away.
Dude. Oh, and my chains reappeared. 2 of them. So I got 1 more chain left now.
2.
I got 2 left.
Pain?
Yep, it went all the way back to 3.
It went all the way back to 3. Dang it. Frickin' Shrike. I blame you.
Wait, what did Shrike do?
What's
He
these
knows
shame?
what
Told
you
her
did.
not.
He knows
Shrike
what
told her not to heal me,
Yeah. He knows what he did.
and then she listened to me. So technically, it's her fault.
Not listening to Shrike no more.
Nobody suggested you ever listen to Shrike. If Shrike is the voice of reason, you need to change the voices in your head.
I was gonna say, right there's a voice of reason. Something terribly wrong has happened.
Psychologically, her voice of reason should have manifested long before she met Shrike, and is probably one of her parents.
That would be horrible.
Yep.
God.
But Matthias listens intently to everything that you say, and he kind of shakes his head. It's like, if what you're saying is true, if everything that the creature said is true, there's no way we could take on an army bigger than what we were already taking on.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Truthfully, I think my group will want to fight, and will want to go into that portal to see if we can cut the head off the serpent.
I mean, isn't there an option where we just take the 3 days to move as many people or everybody out of Stalwart using your ship?
We can't fit that
Doesn't
many people
stop-
on the ship.
Yeah, we can't fit that many people on the ship within 3 days, but also
Shrike,
it doesn't.
Where could we go? Where else is safe but here right now?
Shrike
But
is gonna
also-
point at Aurora and be like, "If you think she's not picking fight, you're wrong."
Okay, but also what I will say is, if we don't stop this here and now, who says how far it will spread? Will your people ever truly be safe anywhere?
You may be right, but discretion is the better part of valor. If we all die, then what was it all for anyway?
Another option is to reach out to the dwarves. They're
We haven't heard, and I was wondering when we get to this topic, but we haven't heard from the Alliance in ages. Like, roughly when this all started is when we lost communication from them.
I have a feeling, based on the fact that Belhaven entered the Dwarven Kingdom, that something very bad happened there.
But he
Belhaven
didn't.
managed to get in?
No, we didn't see him get in. He found
We
the
saw
door.
him go through the door.
No, he found the door, but it wouldn't open.
He just laid his hand on it in the vision.
And then he
Sorry.
looked sad. 'cause
We
it wouldn't
saw
open.
him approach the door.
But it wouldn't open.
I thought he might have got in, but
No.
we
I
can't
mean,
say for
being
sure.
that he's a dwarf that used to be his home, I imagine he might know the way in, but those doors haven't opened in decades.
That was the last place we knew of his location.
I believe that's where all these students were to go to support him, and then all this nonsense
That's exactly why we came too. Was to help
He
Belhaven.
requested you guys to come as well?
Request is a interesting word. We followed him because we thought he might be in danger. Do you remember when we first met and I took a piece of paper from my pocket and asked you if you knew what the symbol is?
Yes.
I think it's connected to what's going on. You took it and said that it was bad, but do you know what it was?
He's talking to somebody.
Out of character as a DM, what was the thing that you showed him?
The symbol.
The paper that I found that was in the library that had the symbol that was on my hand, but it was as if the paper was actively smoking. Like it was burned into the paper.
Yes.
I'll go on to say that's the last thing that Belhaven, at least I think Belhaven left for me to find.
Oh, right.
But Matthias shakes his imaginary head, or his illusion head. But he goes, "Unfortunately, I have no idea what that symbol is, but I know that the method that they use to engrave that symbol is with a special kind of ink, I guess you could say. Basically, it's the dark stuff. I would actually recommend getting rid of that paper sooner than later.
Like necromancy dark.
There are things worse than necromancy, unfortunately.
I meant more of down that avenue.
Yes.
Not necessarily the same.
Some people refer to it as deep magic. Basically, methods used and taught by the old ones.
I'll look back towards the group. Is the group with us right now?
Yeah, everybody's pretty much all together, including the academy students.
So I'll look back towards the group and say, okay, so this is what we know. There's a cult at large. They wear masks and they've infiltrated Bologna.
Yeah, we've seen them before. Golvier interrupts you.
Actually, as soon as you mentioned Bologna, I do have to let you all know. It slipped my mind until just now. I'm hearing myself double.
I don't hear you double.
I'm also hearing you double.
It's coming from Josh's mic because his
Really?
is lighting up when we talk.
Oh, is it?
Okay.
Let me turn the volume down a little.
Anyway.
Better?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bologna is about to be under siege.
What?
We knew it was close to happening.
It is very close to happening.
That's why part of the
It is
reason why
imminent.
we came here.
Which city?
Bologna.
Bologna is
Oh,
the
yeah.
That brings me to what I was going to say. We also know that suddenly there is tension between Bologna and other powers in the area where tension had not existed that long ago. We know that there are jesters in masks who we still haven't determined if they are involved with the other cult or if they are not. And we also know there's a being called the God of Games at play. And now we know there's this undead horde. My suspicion is that these things are all interconnected.
Secret tunnel.
I think we're gonna have to go through that portal.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
I don't want
I'm
them
gonna.
to hurt Stalwart anymore, so
I mean, if he's sticking, if this so-called entity who claims to be Vecna is going to honor his deal and keep the undead at bay, and while we're there, then I say it's at least worth a visit to maybe try to figure out more what's going on. Because right now we have no idea what's through that portal.
Yeah.
But if we don't go through, and he does keep to his word, he's attacking again with an even bigger force than what we just dealt with.
Right.
Can I do like
I'll just be
a
right back, guys.
roll to determine like in all the tales about Vecna, does Vecna normally hold true to their word on deals?
So, like I said, I wouldn't worry so much about the rolls, just what Dorval wants to do. Now, as a bard, you come across a lot of tales, legendary warriors, world-dominating villains, the battle of good and evil. Like, there's
Right.
probably not a whole lot of stories that a bard hasn't heard because that's how they make their money is telling those tales. The thing about villains like Vecna, based off of what you would know outright, is that, and I'm going to go out of character in the term, but they are lawful evil.
Okay, yeah.
They do bad stuff, but they have a particular set of rules that they follow.
Right.
If he is Vecna, it would be safe to assume that yes, he will not go back on his deal. But since we don't know whether he is or not, you'd be basically trusting that he's not lying.
Right. I mean, to be fair, it makes sense. Look at how massive that undead army was. Like, it's either Vecna or someone more powerful than Vecna.
Or alternatively, Elias speaks up with, it could also be someone using Vecna's name.
Even so, if he's the one responsible behind this, we need to stop him regardless.
yeah.
I didn't know I could do that.
Deal.
In
Sorry.
I knew you could do it.
I was trying to move the camera by using the arrow keys, but apparently I had Elias highlighted, so he started going up, down, left, and right. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's how I've been moving my character around. I've just been using the.
Interesting.
Arrow keys.
I'm sorry, Josh. I thought you knew that. I would have said something.
Shrike is just gonna say that, yeah, I guess we're gonna fight, and I'm in. You know, I'm sitting with Dorval and waving my arm around like, once this is attached, I'm ready to fight.
And then the other question is, who are you bringing with you?
We
Shrike and
have
Elias.
3 days.
Bring the horde. Bring the city. He can't stop all of us.
And the cannons. We need cannons.
Oh my god! Grab all the cannons.
How could we make a cannon mobile?
Carefully.
Make them small. Carry them in our pocket, and then line
Can
them up
only
like
carry
little
one.
figurines.
Yuelia would probably say Tensor's floating disc, but I think that only holds 500 pounds, so probably not.
Yeah, it does. There's a weight limit. So I'm not gonna ask everybody to come with. I just don't want them to hurt Stalwart anymore, and this definitely needs to stop. But if
Is
anybody...
Matthias there with us?
Yes.
Yes.
I want to ask him to help prep for what may be waiting for us on the other side of that portal. You wouldn't happen to have like any like spare equipment that's slightly better than what we may have, would you?
The you is well, you being a part of the group, but the Valona elites are probably way more well armed than any of us here. The only reason I'm wearing the armor that I'm wearing is because my soul's attached to it.
So I want to speak up to the other elites.
Guess I'm not involved.
So I don't.
They're
I'm
so
not
clicky these
forcing
days.
anybody to come
Right?
with, and if you don't want to, I understand. But hopefully, if we defeat this, then they'll stop attacking both Stalwart and Bologna. And it looks like we're the most prepared here. So if anybody is able or
Goldbeard
wants
speaks
to come,
up. I mean, we came all this way. We might as well wrap up what we started, right? I'm in. And then Suba speaks up right after. Goldbeard acting all cool. Yes. Let's finish this together.
I give everybody hugs.
Valis, after her, indeed. Seeing all these people suffer is more than my conscience could bear. This needs to end.
Does Lady Alessandra speak up?
Right now, she's just kind of sitting on her knees praying, now that you've decided to pay attention.
I am back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I go down.
Swear to God, if she's praying to Vecna.
I go down by Lady Alessandra. Are you okay?
I'm all right.
You don't need to come.
She takes her hand and just kind of places it. I don't know what like the closest part of Mirra's body is, but she takes her hand and places it. She goes, so these people have just suffered so much already. I'm not sure if there's a whole lot that we can do, but maybe the gods can help us too.
That's where I'll walk over. And I will say, the gods are always there for us when we need them.
She smiles at you. But it seems like even Lucas, he's like,
Does he appear out of nothing? It's just like,
no, you just hear him talk. It's like, yeah, go figure. You guys would take the path, or wait a second. You wouldn't take the path of least resistance. You gotta go to where the danger is. Always. Always. Like, you guys can never just not go to danger, right? Like,
well, who
I
else is
laughed
gonna
in the
do
face
it?
of danger.
Unfortunately, someone has to go to the danger.
Who else is gonna do
but
it?
does it have to be us? That's all I'm saying.
If you don't want to go, you don't have to. And I respect that.
No, I might be complaining, but I'm here for the long haul as well. I swear to God, if I die, you're explaining it to my sister.
I try and
Okay,
figure out where
a valiant hero.
I want to try and figure out where he is with my ears and try and glomp onto him.
By the way, Mirra, have you asked Goldbeer about your broken weapons? Because that's why we contacted him originally.
I was gonna ask Marcus actually, but
Who?
Marcus? No.
Who?
Fuck. Matthias.
Matthias?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Marcus.
Marcus. Rest in peace.
Rip.
Rip. Wait, no, I gotta do the. Oh, is that?
Wait,
the
I thought
same?
I thought that was for
Lydia.
Lydia.
Is that
Lilith.
the same
Lilith.
as? Dude, that's the same as the Viking way.
Press F to pay respects to Lilith.
That's the same.
May
as
she
how the
rest in
Vikings
peace.
pray, rest
May
in
she
peace.
rest in peace.
Golvier.
I don't know if that was
Golvier.
interrupting or
Golvier.
not, but there it is.
Golvier.
What, Mirra?
What?
So, you know how Breya said that she sent you like a letter and
The one that I didn't get that I got beaten over?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was that was actually for me. Do you?
Good to know.
Sorry. But do you know how to heal enchanted or like sentient weapons?
I understand why you're asking me, but I would like to just help help give correct information. That's a tradition passed down by high elves. Not just any elf knows how to do that.
You're
I'm
honestly
sorry.
the only elf we know.
Alessandra's an elf.
Oh, I didn't know Alessandra was an elf. Is Alessandra a high elf?
And she is not. She's an Eladrin.
If you give her some of Mirra's cookies, she will be.
She's gonna say
Well,
like, how high are we talking here? Because
Do
like
you
she could get
happen to
there.
know anyone? See, it wasn't necessarily to ask if you knew.
Oh,
This
we
is
but
my
if
did.
you
special
knew
batch of
someone.
cookies, okay?
We did go to school with that one high elf girl, but I never really talked to her because she was a snob. Suba speaks up. You're a snob.
Yeah.
Suba makes a compelling point.
Anyways, I haven't seen her since she graduated because she went back to her hometown, which is
Well, I didn't
north.
know if you like knew if you knew anything about it, or Mr. Matthias, do you know anything about fixing sentient weapons? My
I
friends,
mean,
my friends
he.
are weapons, and they got eaten by a black pudding.
I mean, technically, I'm a sentient armor, but as
Could
far as I'm aware of,
Could we wear him?
technically yes. But that would be
Oh,
really
please
weird.
don't.
Well, look, these are the thoughts of a bard.
I want
Okay,
you
like
inside me.
him and Dorval are back there just like talking about like, do you think
Wouldn't it
one of
be I
us
want
could
to be
ride
inside
in
you?
him?
Oh, yes.
Like, who do you think could fit in
I want
him?
to be inside you. That is correct.
I'm going to be inside him.
Oh,
You're a little too short.
Whoa.
You're a little short. He's like more humanoid size.
Hey, speaking of, where's my
I was gonna
husband?
say, this is sounding fairly non-consensual at this point,
I
so I think
Where-
you guys should
Correct.
leave Matthias alone.
I apologize.
Where's my husband?
Your husband.
Yeah, the guy that we helped
Oh,
out of the cave.
Oh.
So,
Oh no! Wait.
there's some
Was
there's
his
some
husband the
explaining to
bad
do.
one?
I'm
The
sorry,
bad one?
Dorval, but he turned. So we.
he doesn't know about that part.
So I used
Your husband's a bad man.
Dorval. So
Was
were you there when we used the Circle of Truth on him?
No.
No.
We used the
Dorval
Did you do
knows
this with
nothing
consent?
about any of this.
and
With-
he knew nothing about like this Nick figure. And he seemed like he was telling the truth, but there was something a little odd about it, and I used a different thingy, and we figured out that yes, he actually is, but he didn't do anything bad yet. So I'm like, well, we can't persecute him if he didn't do anything bad yet. But when we were here, all of a sudden he tried to attack Breya, and Ressa protected her.
Yeah, he tried to stab me in the back.
And then he turned into this giant thing and started
monster of
attacking
some
all
kind.
of us.
Yeah, he was like a real multiple personalities situation.
And poor Jobo was so scared. Jobo? Yeah, that's it.
And unfortunately, did he die? I'm pretty sure I was not there that
We
week.
killed him. And
Unfortunately, there was no reasoning with him.
I see.
My notes. Where's
My original plan was to bring him back to Valona to, be held to trial, but
then he turned into
well,
a
Breya wanted to
monster.
make a brig, and apparently that's a bad idea, so there's still no brig on the ship.
There it is, Joba. And Joba got really scared, but he tried to kill Breya, and then he turned into a weird beast thing, and whole person wouldn't work because he wasn't a person anymore.
Wouldn't fear. I feel more. I feel the Allfather will judge his soul fairly.
I feel bad because he seemed like such a nice person, and he was telling the truth in the truth circle, but something was wrong.
Well, what he perceived as truth to him. Because that's
Okay.
the fun part of Circle of Truth.
When I
Yeah.
was gone, did we like decide if we're going into the portal? Is everyone upon in like consensus about that?
Yes,
Yep.
and every
Madam, we've followed you into danger this far. Might as well keep going.
Fair enough.
the other group agreed to go with us, so we get Lady Alessandra and Balis and Golvier and Suba and Lucas.
What about the people, though? Shouldn't we leave some people to protect the people in case he goes back on his word?
We're working under the impression that Vecna, according to legend,
If
their word.
this is Vecna, the people will be the safest while we're in that portal.
And
Okay.
Yeah.
Matthias still staying
and-
here.
And I'll just
Elias is coming too.
like I'll tell Breya in character like a bunch of like different bardic tales about Vecna.
Is Elias allowed to come with us, or is he gonna stay here? Because then Shrike would be playing 2 characters.
I don't think Elias would go through the portal, to be honest. That's up
So
to
why
that's up
don't
to
we leave
Dave.
Elias to defend the people?
I was about to say that's up to Dave, but I don't think Elias would make the decision to go through.
Elias and Matthias can stay and protect the people.
No, sorry,
Dave.
Matthias. I'm going to be inside of Matthias, actually.
Again,
I mean, that would make
this
for
is
a pretty
sounding
awesome
pretty
sneak attack.
non-consensual.
That would be a super awesome sneak attack. All of a sudden, the armor opens up and a little dwarf pops out.
That's one of those like in the movie's plot twists where like you don't see a character for like 30 minutes and they're fighting the big bad evil guy, and then right when the evil guy's gonna win, it's like, so what are you gonna do now? Like sneak attack,
Dwarf.
Attack dwarf!
and attack the dwarf.
Yes! I love it. Let's do that.
Throws out Lydia while the 2 bards are in there stuffed in there playing instruments.
Yes.
The door's open and then you just see it like stop playing.
Just slowly reach out, grab the door, and slowly. Then you hear.
Well, if he opens part of his armor, then it's like a speaker because it's all amplified because it's a
Depending on how
dwarf.
big he is, we could be like Voltron, and each of us could control a limb independently.
Oh
He's
my
not
god!
Yes.
He could
Okay.
be our ultimate form.
But in any case, though, I'm assuming that everybody's pretty much in consensus that you're gonna go through the portal.
Oh, fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
We're gonna take
Woo!
the few days though, just
Yeah, we're gonna
because.
Can we do a long
Yeah.
rest?
I mean, you can do 3 long rests.
Okay, I'm just gonna apply long rest to myself.
Josh, while we're doing lots of long rests, to help Slow Step or whatever his name is, I have Song of Rest. Each day that we're resting, could I play that for him to help?
Absolutely.
help
I also have
speed up.
this.
Woo! We're gonna wake this guy up one way or another.
Dude.
I
There-
also have Song of Rest, yeah.
Therapeutic melodies.
We're gonna be in his room just rocking out for 3 days straight.
Hell
Wake
yeah.
up, turtle! Wake up! Da-da-da-da.
So for the first day for the long rest, whatever, Mirra is going to spend time to draw Mr. It's not. Is it Orcus?
I'm going to. Okay, go ahead.
To draw Orcus and his lady friend, draw a picture of them together, and she's gonna take her time on it, and she's gonna sneak off, and she wants to talk to him. She's gonna go in with the vampire.
Can you say what you're gonna do one more time?
She wants to draw, and my screen just shut off again. She wants to draw a picture of Orcus. Orcus?
No,
Fuck.
Orcus
Orcus?
is the demon prince of the undead. I was like, you want to draw Orcus? I would not recommend drawing Orcus.
What was the name of the
The vampire never said his name.
Okay. I want to draw the vampire dude and his lady friend together in a picture.
Okay.
And I want
Oh.
to sneak off.
Mirra
and
does fan art.
Mirra does fan
Wait.
art, and I want to
Wait.
go and talk.
I
with him.
ship them.
Isn't the vampire dead?
Yes, the vamp.
So
Why is the vampire dead?
There we go.
What happened to
Elias,
the vampire? I'm
Elias
confused.
never killed the vampire.
He did not.
So-
he was going to, but he did not.
When you guys were down there talking, you guys kept the vampire busy long enough for Alessandra to summon the undead.
Yes.
And when she did, basically the Lady of the Tomb just kind of ended the whole confrontation. I guess the vampire's willing to listen to her. And the last you guys saw, she asked if they could speak privately, and that's it.
And then we left. So she wants. What is wrong with this monitor thingy? She wants to draw a picture of him and his lady friend together. And she
Okay.
wants to go and take it to him and talk with him.
Okay,
In
we can
secret.
do that. So I want to talk about something out of character, though.
Okay.
So I feel like this is necessary because I want to make sure I manage expectations. This is technically a big bad evil guy that you guys are about to address.
Yep.
The difficulty is going to spike upwards.
We're gonna die.
Yep.
It is highly likely at least one person will die. And I say it's likely that at least one person. I'm not going to say it would be the only one. So
Look,
if you guys choose to do this, I need you guys to really bring your A game as far as
I really don't want to
everything.
die.
I only have an A game.
I'm just saying this
Here's the thing,
because
though. Realistically, guys, at this point, we don't have another option. We're in a stuck between the rock and a hard
What-
place. Either we leave
I'd
and
rather
I-
die going to the fight willingly than waiting for it to come kill me.
that's
All
the
I
we
thing.
could
wanna
totally-
say is what
could
GM
totally
introduces
abandon Red Cliff
Kachina when we're
Village.
level 6.
Can we?
That's the thing, though, is
Well-
we have to out of character right now. If we don't go, we are actively making the choice to sacrifice this city.
Yep.
Yes.
And we're
Yes.
actively making the choice to allow this problem to continue and to sacrifice other cities.
Which,
Yes.
as
We
you
are-
are all Bologna elites, is not something you can do.
Yep.
In the terms of
Excuse
Dragon
you,
Age,
sir.
the game, like we're abandoning Red Cliff Village when it's under siege by the undead.
But what I want you guys to understand is not that I'm spiking it just like they're going to have more HP or they're going to hit harder. It's going to spike because you're going to be fighting a very intelligent opponent.
Lucky we got like 10 people, I guess.
Let's do it.
I swear, if not all of you show up next week, I'm gonna punch someone.
Oof.
That's how we get fucked in battles, is people are like, we can't come now suddenly.
Looking at you, Aurora. I'll
What?
work. You can't be there.
You gotta punch
What?
Vecna in the face, okay?
It
Yeah.
doesn't sound like tangible. How am I supposed to
He
punch
is
something
tangible. He
intangible?
said he
Very,
wants a fist fight.
very hard.
We'll
He
give you special like
just
bandages that
specifically
allows you to
said-
punch ghosts.
I still don't have my special gauntlets that I stole the scale of that thing to make.
Nobody's
Also,
taking the time to make it.
We don't have a
allegedly,
blacksmith.
Vecna.
What
Yeah,
if you
we-
need to learn how to
Breya's
blacksmith?
working on becoming a blacksmith, but we don't have someone who can forge that for you yet. And we don't want to ruin the material.
I was about to say, adamantite is very hard to come by.
I mean, if we
Especially because a adamantite shell is already processed. You don't have to go through the whole, oops, I accidentally destroyed the adamantite in the processing. Like, all you have to do for the shell is more or less make it into what you want to make it into.
I need new HDMI
For the
cable, I
ore-
think.
For the ore that you guys find, you have to process it and hopefully not screw up.
Which is
Yeah.
why we're waiting on that too. I think I need.
By
new
the way, whenever I'm in the dream world, I am actively working with the blacksmiths there. I've declared it before,
Indeed.
but I'm declaring it again.
But like I said, I just wanted to throw that out there because I don't want shit to hit the fan and then you guys are like, why didn't you warn us? It's like, oh,
Well,
I'm warning you.
Josh,
Truthfully, I feel we actually have very little choice in the sense of the moral compasses of our characters.
And you are
Agreed.
correct. It's one of those things
Josh,
where it's like, well, yeah, you could save your own skin. That's
I've
up-
played a campaign before that the DM failed to mention that the fact that I was wearing metal armor on the very first day of our venture out was the reason why I got struck by lightning.
You had a Breath of the Wild moment.
Yeah. And he goes, Paul, what are you wearing?
wearing metal doesn't
I'm
necessarily
wearing
make you
chain
more
mail.
susceptible to being struck by lightning by
Yeah, but some
scientific.
people are
I'm
dicks.
just saying, I've been killed off in very stupid ways. I'd rather be killed off in a big epic battle against a big,
Same.
well-named baddie than
Same.
being
Like I
killed in
said,
a goofy way.
I'm saying it out of character because I want you guys to be informed as players. I don't want to come at you with everything that I have, and then you guys are like, "This is not fun."
Well,
I'm
we're
just
Right.
gonna
saying.
die.
Rhea's actively tried to sacrifice herself at least 3 times now. One of these times she's gonna succeed.
But like I said, I just wanted to throw that out there because, again, this is going to be an intelligent villain, and he's not going to, do stupid stuff.
I would like to see if I can find slightly better armor than I have now.
I'm gonna
I
stupefy him so
have,
he's not intelligent.
I have basic light leather armor, so
We
if
have.
they
Well,
got
people who
anything
have spells,
slightly better.
consider your spells wisely before we go in, and the
we
rest
have
of us
scale
rest
mail.
up.
Can you wear
And
medium?
you guys, other than what the
Yeah.
group has for you to take, this village, this fort doesn't have anything better than what you guys own.
I was about to ask if they had any spare armor or anything.
You don't.
Most
So
of what they have is blessed, or it's just enchanted, or
What
you
type
know,
of armor is that
They
scale?
don't have anything
Medium.
better than half plate.
No, I can't wear medium.
they do not.
Uh,
The only ones that they have better are the Holy Knights, but the Holy Knights are not going to give you their armor.
Josh?
Does anyone?
I would like to use my background trait to maybe get some more information from like my sources on potential dwarven allies in the area. Like if there have been any sort of hearings of any dwarves. Like I know you already said that the doors have been closed, but if they know anything.
Sure. Give me a D100.
Sure.
Select the D10 and then the percentage dice.
That's the big dice.
I think I need a new HDMI cord.
31.
31. So, are you discussing this with your friend the usual way by yourself, or are you going to let all your friends be in on it?
Oh yeah. So normally I bring Mirra and Lydia follows. So yeah, I would bring Mirra for sure.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if you were going by yourself or not. So, you do your normal thing, and you place the wooden chip with the marking just on the thing. And somebody nearby kind of spots it, and you see them get up and walk away. About 5-10 minutes later, somebody comes walking up, kind of making sure that their face is covered, looking around. Very scraggly looking individual. Pretty much, I mean, if you were to judge a book by its cover, he looks homeless. He looks pretty beaten up, very skinny, very frail. The blanket that he's using to cover himself is all torn up and dirty. His clothes are all torn up and dirty. As that, he looks like he hasn't bathed or taken care of his beard in months. But he goes, "What information are you looking for?"
I come seeking information on any sort of any whispers of the dwarves, of their whereabouts, of any dwarves, any survivors.
I'm going to tell you now, my friend. I'm sorry, I don't have anything to tell you. I would probably be the best ear given where we're at, but we've lost communication with so many places closer to
Right.
the Great Woods, and without any communication, like none of us. I mean, we gather information, but we're not warriors by any nature
Can
of the trade. None of us
can
are
you-
willing to actually go into there to find out what's going on.
Don't blame you. Can you maybe tell me what would be like the closest settlement that would have had a temple to Moradin? Or a shrine to Moradin even?
I
Blue?
think there might have been one in Bronze Rock.
Brunsrock?
Yes, and not that you would know, but they actually stopped at Bronze Rock on the map.
It
I
was,
think that's what I called
it
it.
was decimated.
It's
But
decimated.
it was
Was it one of the
I
towns that
said,
were?
but as far as I'm aware of, Bronze Rock was completely demolished.
Shrike is the only one who has seen it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
technically,
As a
Shrike was the
cloud.
only one who saw it.
All right. Well,
Not
I
that Shrike
We
knows what
might
your
be able to go
conversation is
there
right
though,
now.
but I don't know how far away it is.
I like if it is feasible to get there and back within 3 days, I would love that. But
Well, you guys would remember from Shrike telling you guys there's no building that was left standing.
Oh.
right, but
It could be a sub basement or.
exactly.
Oh.
This is Moradin we're talking about. Like underground is a thing.
How far was the town from here?
About a day and a half, 2 days.
Mm,
Nope.
Yeah.
So you would need 4 days to get there and back.
Nope.
Yeah. I appreciate your time and I appreciate you.
I give him a cookie.
Yeah, I don't need any money, but could you spare some food?
I give
Yeah.
him.
Oh God, yeah.
I give him 3 rations and a cookie.
Oh,
what a cookie! Tell them to eat the cookie first. Those rations will be the best rations you've ever had, man.
thank you so much.
I give
Just
him some of my fire moss.
Oh,
It's edible. It's edible.
what's this?
It is a delicacy. Delicious. You can also turn it into a salve, but
We
Why
were
would you
eating
lie
it
to
for a
him like
while.
that?
Just
I would what?
Why would you lie to him like that?
He thought it was a delicacy,
Technically, it's
okay?
not a lie. Yeah,
He
I mean,
enjoyed it.
Dorval loves it.
depending on how Dorval thinks it tastes, it could be a delicacy.
If you don't
But-
recall, I was like gathering that shit up to eat while we were in the cave.
I
But-
remember you were.
He goes, thanks, because of your kindness, I'll give you a little bit more information that I know based off of being here. So you guys have addressed a lot of the issues, but
The issue.
the one thing that I've noticed is that, hang on, making sure I get this right in my head. The one thing I noticed is that the
We know Aurora smells. I'm sorry.
Elias, I think that's the cleric's name that passes through here.
Okay. I don't know of an Elias, but yes.
It's the gentleman that you met earlier with the group.
Shrike's other
I-
character.
Yeah,
Junior.
He's
So I
pretending
out
that
of
he
character,
doesn't know.
I know,
Yeah.
but like Dorval has not introduced himself to Elias yet. So
Okay.
He might know if there's anything of religious value there, or maybe he's managed to salvage anything of religious value from that place. Seeing as that he's the wandering cleric, the grave warden.
I very much appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
He kind of not. It's like tipping his hat, but he's like tipping his ration. Like,
Oh.
Love
and,
that. Oh.
and he kind of just wanders off.
I
Gosh,
was honestly so tempted to give him my cloak from Breya, but
All of
That
the
would make
blankets
Breya
are
sad, I think.
around the ship.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it would have made Breya
As soon
sad.
as you started to untie it, you'd hear like, no!
Also,
Just in the distance.
it has your name embroidered in it.
So, and then that would happen. Breya would see this dude walking with this like, you little shit, stealing my friend's
You think you can fucking steal from my friend?
Oh shit.
No,
Like,
no,
like
give
him
it to
giving
me,
that
liar.
cloak is like the greatest thing that's ever happened to him in his entire existence, and it's
Just be
over in
up for
5
it.
minutes.
Brand, no!
Okay.
Oh,
So
Well,
no.
he's not homeless no more. He's
When-
dead.
Oh,
Oh no!
ah.
Well, he would have a home in the forge.
Well, in any case, Mirra, you said that you wanted to go down into
Yes.
catacomb?
Yes. I don't want. I'm not bringing anyone with me. I am doing
Okay.
it while everyone is asleep.
Follow her.
Stinky.
So this would be the first night.
Yes.
Okay. So you
Um,
head down into.
Yeah. So when I get kind of close, I like knock on the wall. Excuse me, sir.
Well, you get to the front entrance, and the two clerics that guard it, they're like, "Did you want in?"
Yes, please.
So we're not even gonna question it anymore. Like,
Thank you.
we don't do what you want.
You're all
Okay,
crazy.
I
We're done
will.
questioning.
Pretty much, like everybody in the town is like, you do crazy things. You saved us. Like, you know what? Just as long as we make it out okay, go for it.
You
Whatever.
don't seem to be actively killing us, so just keep doing what you're doing.
I shall. Thank you.
So they open the doors and you start to descend into the catacombs.
Yeah.
It is incredibly dark. Your vision allows you to see in black and white, shades of gray. But as soon as the doors close behind you, you just get this kind of pressure like from before.
Curiously, how many shades of gray can she see in?
50.
I knew that was coming eventually.
She can see in 51.
51.
It's over 9,000.
49.
Oh my god!
Oh, 49 shades of gray.
49 shades of gray.
Wait.
That's the story about before.
69. Bow, chicka, bow, wow.
Oh,
Nice.
I should have seen that one coming too. In any case,
9 shades of pink.
are you just making your way all the way to the end?
Yes, but I'm gonna when I get close, like knock and call out first before I like enter his area.
You hear him just kind of. The voice is. You can hear it with your ears. It's like being projected away from you. But because he's speaking loud enough, it's loud enough to get to you. But you can tell that he's speaking with his back to you. And he says, "What business do you have here?"
Sir, I just wanted to talk.
Spit it
to you.
out.
I have a gift for you.
You see him kind of just turn slightly to look behind him with one eye.
Is she sneaking off to see Quasimodo?
Vampire.
So, out of character, there's kind of a Castlevania thing going on here. Basically, the lady that guarded the town way long ago, she was persecuted by the townsfolk,
Oh.
and the vampire was very much in love with her, and they burned her
Right.
at the stake.
Right.
And so basically, he just guards her sarcophagus.
Got you. Oh, that's beautiful.
Right.
But he literally hates just about everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that. Yeah.
He's a little bit less resentful to the group because they're not from this town. But he pretty much refused to like save them if anything ever happened.
What
But-
if that bust we never recovered was of his lady?
Oh no! We still need to go to that freaking island. Ugh,
Mhm.
Oh no,
so long ago.
that side quest just got a little bit more important all of a sudden.
Were you able to talk?
Little did they know.
Random side quest number 12 all of a sudden got a little gold star next to it.
Oh no. Were you able to talk with your lady friend a little bit?
While the spell lasted, yes. So, I do believe I owe you all somewhat of an apology and that I'm thankful that I at least got to talk with her one last time.
I'm glad. I have something for you, and I hold out the drawing I did of the two of them.
He
Does
slowly.
he like want to be unmade so he can go be with his lady? Like,
Oh, don't! The feels.
I mean, that's a possibility.
Oh.
But he slowly reaches for the paper, and you see him kind of do this, and it's basically the light cantrip because he wants to see it exactly the way you drew it. And you just see him, his face just becomes so sorrowful, so mournful, and you just see him kind of caress her on the page.
Is there a way to painlessly and peacefully put a vampire? Like,
does she have a doppelganger somewhere who's like her great 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 granddaughter who's of age?
Probs.
Like Elena from Vampire Diaries.
how powerful is the wish spell?
Oh,
Oh,
Which
snap.
spells don't exist anymore.
Hey, we revived one god.
All right, look. We just go to Namek. Use theirs.
I've
Can you
heard of
imagine
this
that boss fight
Paylord
against
Well-
Lisa?
fish.
Let's bring it back in really quick because we're still role playing. So you see him just caressing her image on the paper. He goes, this means a lot.
I'm glad you got to speak with her, if even for a little bit. And I'm sorry we disturbed you. But she helped so many people, and they're all so grateful.
They don't deserve it. You might deserve it. He goes over to the sarcophagus and he rests his hand on it. And you hear it move.
She's in there.
She summoned this back to her in case she needed it for the upcoming battle to protect the people. I wasn't planning to give it back, especially after she restored it. And he reaches in and he pulls out the Vixilium that Shrike had lended to the people. But it looks fully restored. And it glows in like a ghostly, but like before it was just like super faded and white. Like it was just like white, semi-visible sheet. But now it's still transparent, but it's in full stalwart colors. That bright blue and yellow trim. And then it kind of fades as it just returns to normal, and he sticks it out sideways to present it to you. She wanted you to have this.
Thank you. I kind of just gingerly just take it.
She knows one of your people in your group was originally connected to it. But she wanted to make sure that since you did her, that you upheld her last wish in protecting the people here against all odds, she wanted to make sure that it was restored back to its full strength. So she will no longer have any regrets in this world.
I bow deeply. Thank you. I'm glad she can be at peace once more. I don't know if we will be back. We are going to protect the town again from someone calling themselves Vecna, and I'm sure this
His
will
eyes
come in
kind of
handy.
widen. Another pretender.
Another pretender?
Whoever. This will be the only gift I give you. Anybody claiming to be Vecna is not Vecna.
Well,
Oh well.
That's what Breya thought.
I destroyed his phylactery myself.
Oh.
I see.
What if he's the new Vecna?
Does Mirra know what a phylactery is?
No!
Mirra-
Does
Mirra
Paul know what a
should-
phylactery
being that
is?
she studied under Bellhaven, she should know what a phylactery is.
Fair enough, which means
What?
Breya would also know.
Yes.
Correct.
I don't know what that is for real. What
A
is that?
phylactery is an item that a lich attaches its soul to. And to destroy a
Like a
lich, you
soul
have to
jar?
Kind of.
Sort of. Sort
Okay.
of.
Basically, their body will keep coming back unless the phylactery is destroyed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
think of it like in Harry Potter, you know, the
Horcrux?
Horcruxes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Horcrux.
Yes. That's it.
But a
That's a
lich
dirty
only
word.
has one,
Mm.
usually. Like, I don't
Yeah,
think
In
lich
other
yes.
has
words,
There is only one. Yes.
Voldemort's better than a lich.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, there you go.
There. Okay, thank you.
But in any case,
Thank you for the explanation.
Ask
don't
him for the
know-
story of how he destroyed the phylactery. This might be good for us.
but I don't know what deception the individual who told you that is trying to pull, but Vecna has been no more for at least a millennia.
I see.
Bring the vampire with us.
Well, this false Vecna is still a threat. And if we don't go, they're going to kill everyone here. I thank you, but if I may have one more gift.
Quick question out of game.
Mhm.
If the undead come here, won't they raise his lady as an undead and force
She's-
her to fight?
What he was getting at out of character, some undead cannot, or some dead cannot be re-raised
Mm.
if, and as Dave himself learned, and Dorval would know, and you two would know,
Yeah.
that anybody put to rest a certain way, and
Yes.
that's why you do ceremonies when
Protected.
because it basically moves them on. So the only way that anybody can manipulate the dead is literally just their body like a puppet.
Right.
They're like meat golems.
They
But
could still desecrate her remains that way, though.
correct.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't be able to manipulate her spirit.
Right.
If I could ask one more gift of you, May I know your name to thank you properly? Jenny! Hi! Patron Jenny, all hail Patron Jenny.
His name's
Hello?
Jenny.
Greetings.
In the current days, I've given up my name. Do a persuasion check for me really quick.
Oh snap.
I would say even at advantage.
Oh snap. Persuasion. Okay, so. Ooh, a 22 total.
Nice.
I'm just looking up all
long-
innocent.
Was
a
that a nat
long-
20?
Some
No.
boot ties.
No, it was not.
A
Do the
long,
puss in boot ties.
what?
I said, do the puss in boot ties.
But he goes, a long, long time ago,
Galaxy far, far away.
when I was a much more terrible individual.
For
I used to
Darth
go by the name of Strahd.
Oh!
I too will look surprised as if I know what this means.
The Curse of Shroud is a module.
It's
The-
probably one of the biggest campaigns D&D has ever made. It's probably one of the most famous campaigns D&D has ever made.
Wait, is this an epic crossover event?
Is that what you like?
Yes.
Is that what you like to be called now?
No.
You should
I've
have a
given up
fancy
that name and that way of life a long time ago.
Give him like a fancy vampire name.
Like Vladimir.
Alucard.
Malachard.
Alexander.
Mordekaiser.
He has taken up
Edward.
another name, but he's not going to say it.
Edward.
You know why he doesn't want to tell us? Because it's not as cool as all the names we just said.
Right?
So he's embarrassed now. It's like,
Carlisle.
no, all the good vampire names are taken. My name's Frank.
There are some
Mine-
who call me Tim.
Bob.
Bob.
Oh, no,
Still a
not
better
Tim.
love story than Twilight.
I am Bob the vampire. Ah, ha, ha.
But he then turns his back towards you and kneels back down in his original position in front of the sarcophagus. He goes, "You can dismiss yourself."
Ow.
Thank
You know,
you. A great honor. Has the lady. I wish you peace. And I will slowly leave. And
he used to
Okay.
play the
head
cookies
over to Shrike immediately. It's my next stop.
The Shrikening.
The
The
Shrike.
Shrike Part 3.
Now it is nighttime, so
Correct, but Shrike doesn't sleep.
correct.
The Shrike watches you walk up and then is like, what the fuck? That's mine, or it used to be.
But it looks like super shiny, like polished, improved, brand new.
Things different,
Shrike?
not the same. This kind of feeling I can't explain.
Are you awake? Hello?
Yes.
Oh,
Hello?
Always.
well, I didn't know if he like needed that few minutes to reboot or whatever. He's in like sentry
System
mode. It takes him a
restarting.
few
Clicking
rounds to
gears.
like
Please
reboot.
wait. Loading,
System
please
shut
wait.
down.
You're clicking gears and like whirling.
Your conversation is important to us. Please hold for the next available brain cell.
Right. You didn't know her, but there was a very nice lady here. She's passed on, but this was hers, and she wanted you to have this back. And I give it to him.
That's fantastic. I
So
love it.
out of character, because I'm not sure if I'll ever get the chance to really say it, but yes, that used to belong to her.
Ah, got it.
It belonged to her, and then Shrike got it, and then she got it back, and now it's Shrike's again.
Yeah.
Well, she could tell that it was connected to somebody else, so she
Right.
wanted to fix it.
It's originally hers.
Correct.
How the hell did
Okay.
Shrike get this?
We found it.
We
remember?
found it.
Where did you find it?
In one of our early things, and
Was
then we
this
took it.
the staff you found in a garbage pile?
No.
Oh, I still have that
This was
though.
before
This
Okay.
is the one. This was one of the magic items we found, and I attuned to it, and I was using it. The museum people were like, "Hey, like,
We
we'll
wanna
buy it off
buy
you," and they
it.
gave me a lot of money for it.
Ah.
So now I've got the money and the like. This is great.
I thought
I'm
the
so
way
happy.
he worded it, this was originally hers, but I think
Correct.
Shrike. I think Shrike.
You know what? I'm gonna make a character who's like a wizard one day, and his whole shtick is he's gonna enchant items to return to him after about a week after he sells them, and they'll just mysteriously
Lord.
disappear out of the new owner's house.
Sure, you're not a Harry Potter goblin. 'Cause it's not Harry Potter goblin.
That water goblin.
So I'm gonna give that back to Shrike and tell him that. And I'm going to sleep. I'm gonna snuggle with Ressa.
Before Breya goes to bed, gonna
Before Dorval goes to bed, he wants to approach Elias.
Oh,
Oh boy.
Ba, 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 ba.
I don't know who Elias is though, so maybe I'll wait until morning.
if you're
what?
I
at
just
the
I
same time, I
adorable
will.
walking up to people
Are you
and
Elias?
tapping them and be like,
Are you
"Excuse me,
Elias?
Are you
Are you
Elias?
Elias?
Are
Are
you
you
Elias?
Randomly
you
wake
Elias?
people up until he finds
Well,
Elias.
I walk over to Breya. Is your name Elias?
Breya just gives you that look like,
Idiot.
Did you really have to interrupt my prayers to ask me this?"
If I saw you praying, I would not interrupt them.
If I'm still awake at that
Yeah.
point, I would assist. But I was doing stuff.
Oh,
It probably took me a while.
my
Big
God,
battle's
Kat.
coming,
Yeah,
so
it's all
Breya
good.
will pray.
What did you just do to my keyboard, you fat cat?
I'll actually wait until next session because I realize tonight's almost over. Actually,
Do we have a
Yeah.
question for the orb?
Right.
Yes.
So
Why is the orb round?
wise. It's
Do
more
we
of
have
a
a question that's
shifting
not that question for the orb?
amalgam of light and spirit.
Why don't we ask the orb what happened to Vecna? Show us how
oh,
Vecna was
Dave,
defeated.
I forgot to tell you that your ring upgraded. I have to do that too.
Oh no! No!
Guys, how do we feel about
Um,
asking the orb to show us how Vecna was defeated?
Well,
That way we'll know if he really was.
I'm down with that.
what if we ask a question about this fake Vecna?
That's really hard though. Like, how do we ask it?
This person who challenged us calling himself Vecna. And we go off of that wording.
But how do we ask, like, who is he? Like, what do we want to know? I think it would be easier to confirm his identity if we ask the other one, because we'll either find out what happened to the real Vecna or find out that the real Vecna, like, escaped. We could say, did Shad defeat Vecna?
Strahd.
But if he doesn't
I thought
identify
it was
himself as that
pronounced
name
as
anymore,
Strayhead.
Well,
depends
this would
on
be in
if
the.
he,
Who cares?
he
Well,
this would be
even
identified
in
if
as
the
he
Strahd
past.
at
doesn't
that
identify
time.
as that
It
now,
would be in
he
the past.
identified as that then.
What do you
How do you guys
think?
feel? I kind of want to ask, did Strahd defeat Vecna, and if he did, show us how, kind of thing.
Phrase it as the individual previously known as Strahd, because he does not identify as Strahd anymore.
The vampire previously known as Strahd. How did the
wanna get
vampire
technical.
previously known as Strahd?
Now, just to throw that out there, I said the orb isn't going to be like the wish spell where if you're not super specific, it's going to screw you over.
Right.
Basically, as long as it has enough information to answer your question, it'll answer your question.
Right. I think you explained this before as like if you ask a basic question, it'll give
I
you
said
a
if
basic
you're-
answer.
Yes,
If
which
you
is why
answer
we're
something-
trying to be super specific.
Okay. So how about how did the vampire formerly known as Strahd did the vampire formerly known as Strahd defeat Vecna? And if he
That would be a yes or
would
no
I-
answer, and that would
I
be
would
one
not
answer.
say
Right.
defeat. I would not say defeat because
Oh
You
wait,
know,
wait,
that-
wait.
My advice is
What-
just to make sure that it can't be answered with a yes or no because it will answer with a yes or no.
How about
Correct.
what happened when the vampire formerly known as Strahd fought Vecna? Show us what happened.
their final battle. Their final battle specifically.
Or
Show
just
us
say,
what-
show us how Vecna
show
was
us-
killed. Show us how
No,
Vecna
because
was
we
defeated.
don't know if Vecna was killed. And if Vecna wasn't killed, it won't show us anything. But he might have fought Vecna, and Vecna might have gotten away. So that's why I'm trying to word it this way.
If
Yeah,
either,
show us
So
their
say
final battle.
defeated,
If
because
it
that
is-
would still be technically defeated. If he loses the conflict, regardless, it would be considered a defeat.
Show us what happened during the final battle between the vampire formerly known as Strahd and Vecna.
So the orb begins doing its whirls, all the energy begins swirling around, it starts to brighten, and then it starts to display the imagery of the past like it usually does.
A cutscene.
A cutscene. But in it, you basically see Strahd coming into Vecna's chamber. And Vecna goes, "You know, you are considered undead just like everybody else. I could just manipulate you just like the rest of them." And you see Vecna try to make a magic circle, but it breaks, which
Spell.
Shrike would recognize as counterspell.
Right, commentates. That was counterspell.
Strahd doesn't even really speak. You just see them go straight into combat. And Vecna has a really hard time dealing with Strahd's speed and power because not only can Strahd use magic, he's very adept physically. And little by little, slowly but surely, Vecna starts to get overwhelmed. And as Vecna gets out of character knocked to zero, as he's knocked down and trying to pull himself off the floor, Strahd walks up to him and goes, "I've destroyed every extra measure that you've set up. Every simulacrum, every clone." And you see him go into his pocket and pull out a very extravagant looking gold medallion. "And now your phylactery too." And it just shatters into thousands of pieces. "You've lost, Vecna. I will have you harass the vampire clan no longer." And Vecna coughs and still kind of trying to drag himself away, and he goes, "Get rid of me and I'll just be replaced by another. You know how it is. Vampires will never be free." And Strahd goes, "At least for now we will." And you see a flaming orb appear in his hand. Shrike knows this spell too.
Fireball.
as it shoots forward at a blinding speed and just blows up in a sphere and then becomes a pillar of smoke. And Shrad just throws his cloak to cover himself and just walks away from the room.
Okay, couple questions. Shrad said he had destroyed every something, and he used a particular word that I didn't know what it meant.
Simulacrum.
Okay, what the hell is that?
It's basically a slime copy.
Okay.
It's literally a clone, but it's a lesser version of yourself.
But then he also mentioned other clones.
Correct, because there's a spell called clone as well.
Right. So do you guys think it's possible that we could be fighting a clone he didn't find?
Well, that's like a.
Well,
but then he also said that more would follow.
Yeah, like okay, like the important thing, the big weird word, the phylactery, that was destroyed. Isn't that
was.
like the core like whole thing that like keeps Vecna?
I'm pretty sure it just, if you destroy it, he can't resurrect himself again.
Could he craft another
Basically,
one?
Okay, question.
A lich gives up their physical body
Yeah.
to contain their soul in an inanimate object.
Yes.
This makes it so that they technically cannot die because what they reside in is no longer an object that can deteriorate.
Yeah.
So that's how the lich ends up living forever, is because their soul is now in an object that will last eons, as long as the object doesn't wear down or break or whatever. Because of that, the physical body still moves on its own and can do whatever, but if the physical body is destroyed, it just puts itself back together after a certain period of time. Excuse me.
Right. So then they also have these simulacrums and clones in place in case the phylactery is destroyed. Then
Correct.
they come back in one of their other bodies.
Because any good wizard has thousands of backup plans.
So it's
Do
very
have a
possible
question,
that we
though.
are fighting a clone that Vecna has assumed.
It wouldn't be the same soul because
Possibility.
the soul container is destroyed.
Did you
But
have
it
another
could
his
question?
still
soul
be a
would
chance
probably
that it
travel
could be
to the clone's
part of
body.
Vecna.
Yeah.
Because even if it's going to be just a part of Vecna, I would imagine it would still be insanely powerful.
I think
Yeah.
it's very likely that if it is a clone, when the phylactery was destroyed, his soul went to the clone. But the other option is that it's not Vecna and it is just another lich that is now calling himself Vecna. Because as Vecna said, more will come. And I think he just meant there'll always be another person wanting to become a lich.
There must always be a Lich King.
Did you want to ask a question, Dave?
When Shrad was listing off all the things he destroyed, did Vecna even look surprised?
Vecna wasn't even looking at him. He was trying to crawl away. But if he paid attention, which I think he would given what you asked, Vecna did stop moving when he said he had the phylactery.
Mm.
But something that is a little bit surprising, given her extensive knowledge of legends and lore,
Yep.
is that Strahd was nowhere near as strong as Vecna was.
Yeah,
Not
that was
by a
something I
mile.
was wondering about.
So it's
But-
kind of surprising that it played out like this.
In my mind, I was wondering if it was kind of like a Lord Voldemort situation where he didn't realize he was getting weakened until like the 5th Horcrux was destroyed. Was it the case that, he was running around killing his clones and that each clone contained a bit of power or whatever, and now he's weaker? Who
Only
knows?
time will tell, I suppose, because
Best way to find out is stepping through that portal.
it is
Yeah.
9 o'clock.
Mm.
Good night, guys.
Night.
Bye.
thank you for all for coming.
Oh,
I hope
Josh,
to see you all. Oh, I have to activate Shrike again. Yes, sir.
You'll also have to add the Vexilium back to my inventory.
I have to add the new one back to your inventory.
And for attunement to that, how do I do that? Can I just
Well,
switch-
once it
can I
goes
just
back in your
attune-
inventory, you'll be able to attune to it.
I just
But the
attune
one I'm
without
giving, the
trying,
new
or
one I'm giving you is going to be stronger, so it's different.
alright. Will I be able to just attune, or will I have to work on that?
well, we
For
have
an
3
hour?
days. Yeah.
You
Good
only
night,
need an hour.
everybody.
Bye.
Night.
good night.